Alrighty, so here we go. Ah, yahoo! So let's check it out and see how things are going. Oops. Look at that. We want okay. That works. Got it working. So hopefully we won't have a crash down like we did last night. I couldn't get it to work properly, so I had to hardwire it in. Actually use Ethernet this time and see if maybe it's a connection on my end that was causing all the buffering to happen. Sorry, I didn't get to your reading. I caught your request though, so we're gonna see if we can. Oh shoot, my phone! Ouch! All right, 1 second. 1 second. 1 second. 1 second. It went for a ride. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I'm gonna leave that over there. Put that over there. Okay. Whew. What a day. Okay. So, I've been kind of having a rough day today. As you know, my baby had her babies. And by the time we found out where she was actually having them in the house because she was. Just read the notes there and see if maybe that helps because I know when I watch videos I have to change it from HD. Okay, cool. So if we can just remind everybody just to kind of take note of what I mentioned at the beginning of the stream in regards to watching it on a different resolution setting, it will definitely help with that buffering issue. I think because there's so many people come on actually a live stream, so it takes away from it. So it just kind of, lessons and lessons and lessons till we have problems, right? So always remember that. I just had a light bulb go off as far as, how can I make sure that it's not happening for you guys. So that's going to help in the future. Yay! Woohoo! You would have known. So how are you doing? So we're going to get started here soon. So yeah, so I kind of had a rough day today. I wasn't really having the best morning. Like I said, I did a video yesterday, and my baby girl, my youngest cat, she was pregnant, and I knew she was going to have babies soon, but I didn't realize how different the cat is actually an individual as well. Here, I thought that she would kind of be more like the other one, and come and notify me that things are going on for her. But meow, meow. And I'm like, what the hell? There's kittens. I heard that. And then my partner's mom was here, and she says, I heard them too. Like, you weren't hearing things. So I had to go around the house. I couldn't find her, couldn't find her, couldn't find her. And I'm like, what the hell is that? Why is it? So it turned out that in the back room, which is going to be the office, um, had a mattress leaning against the wall that was right up against the wall. And she managed to, it was like a little bit ajar from her because there was a hole in that fabric that they put on the bottom in the box. And she got in there and she couldn't get out. Right? She was so pregnant and in labor. She couldn't get out of that spot that she got herself into. So I was hearing these little mews. So I went back there and found them. I ripped off the fabric right away. I just ripped it right off the bottom of the bed. And she started hissing at me, and I yelled at her. I said, no, you don't yell at me. Don't hiss at me. Stop it. Bad girl. And she stopped. So, she was only being protective against her babies. I understand that. But, me, I'm your owner. I'm not going to hurt your babies. So, trying to get her situated in her birthing bed to continue the rest of labor so it's not, too stressful on her. I had to literally pick her up, and she was like a dead weight, just dead. And the last time I tried picking her up, she actually scratched the shit out of me when she was little, and I ended up with a big cut on my hand, and it was deep. So I know she can do damage. So I grabbed her by the back of the neck, and I said, I am not going to be having this. You're not going to be having your babies in the bottom of a mattress leaning against the wall. It's not happening. I got this drawers that slide under the bed, that are for storage and stuff. So I had that set up in the other room in case she wanted to go back there and use it, but she didn't use the bed. She decided to go into the mattress instead of, the birthing bed that I made for her. She wanted to use the big bed. She wanted to be the big girl because she's a mama now, I guess. I don't know. But so anyways, we lost one. We lost a little one. They were like ice cold, meowing away, and just cold to the touch. And so I immediately picked them up. I went and got a towel, immediately picked them up, and I started drying them, like taking the towel, creating a little bit of friction so they stay warm. And there was one that was just yelping and yelping and yelping and yelping. You couldn't make him stop. I don't know which one that was, but she's now taken up underneath my bed. She's literally living under my bed with her 4 kittens on a carpet. She won't let me get near them. I can get near them, but as soon as I go to move them into the birthing bed, the bed that I had made for all of them, like one cat has one in this room, which is her normal area that she likes to have her babies. She knows how to use it. She knows that when that comes out, that's ready, for her to be able to give birth to her kittens, and she'll go right into the bed. The other one, she didn't like the idea. She wanted to be like the real big girl and have a big girl bed, but bit off more than she could chew. So we unfortunately lost a little girl. I did do a ceremony for her this afternoon. I buried her in my yard. So I sent my prayers and my wishes, that she come back in a better state of affairs. I figured if I had to keep a close eye on her, I knew that from the get-go that I was going to have to pay close attention to her moods and her eating habits, but nothing changed. There was no signs, no signals to say, hey, she's going into labor. She didn't have a mucus plug come out, nothing, right? So she's now underneath my bed with the babies. There's 4 of them. She ended up having 5, but the one passed away, and it was a fairly small one. I can see why it probably did. She probably didn't get to it right away because the other ones were still like wet from like the birthing fluid. So we had to dry them all. I had to dry them off, put them into the little bed, pick them all up, and take them over there and get them all kind of cleaned up for her. And then she started cleaning them herself and took care of them. But she doesn't take right to it at first. Like she won't go near it. She won't go near it. So I started drying them off and getting some of that fluid off. So maybe it was something to do with the taste of them. Maybe it wasn't setting her off. So I took the little one that passed away. I moved her and the two that she had that were still alive, and are still alive, noisy as hell, and brought them into the birthing bed, and she stayed there until she finished. So I was up pretty much all night, kind of worried about her and worried about the baby. So I didn't get much sleep last night, or today. I had a bit of a nap this afternoon. I just worry about her, right? I just don't want her to be picking up the babies and taking them outside, with them being so young and everything, and then, kind of losing track of them. So I'm trying to keep her as calm as possible. She's very flighty right now, so I'm kind of worried about that. But I think more or less, once the birth was done, she stayed in that bed, no problem. And then I went, and once I got her settled in the bed, I went back and I picked up the little one that passed away and wrapped him in a little towel and tried to see if I could resuscitate him, see if it was, a possible miracle could happen. You know what I mean? So I gave it a shot. I really did, and I prayed that that if it wasn't, that it would be taken care of. That the spirit will be able to be recycled into another body, or another experience. So yeah, so that was kind of one of the unfortunate parts, especially when it's the first litter for a young cat. Those are things that you have to really be aware of stillbirths and them getting to baby in time, because the sac is around their face still. Like I had to on the third one, or no, that would have been 1, 2, 3, fourth one that came out. It came out breech. It came out feet first. I don't know why these girls have to push them out feet first. They don't come out head first. But came out feet first, and all of a sudden she popped it out. It was like a big air cannon was inside her, and just poof, out it came. Like a champagne bottle cork, just. And she didn't get to the sac right away, so I had to rip the sac and get it off the baby's face, and then leave her to do the rest, right, so that baby could breathe. So I got that one done, and then she had one more, and we ended up with 4 beautiful all blacks. They're all black. They're Maine Coon, purebred. The father's Maine Coon, and she's Maine Coon, and they're just going to be an amazing cat. They're so tiny though. Like my litters that I've had with my other female didn't seem like this tiny. Really tiny. So I was kind of concerned about that, because the Runty came out. The last one that was born is Runty, and it's no word of a lie. He's I would say about 2 inches. Little scrawny little thing. You could probably drop it and it would probably break or something. You know what I mean? But it was very small. Very vocal. These cats are vocal, and they're kittens. They're not even 24 hours old yet, and they're vocal like to beat the band. They go meow, 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 and it gets kind of annoying after a while. So you have to go shh. But it keeps her aware and keeps her on a point with what she needs to be doing as a mom. So I check on her every couple hours, and the babes are eating. They all started latching on, so I don't have to worry about that. The one thing I am going to worry about is because the girls got pregnant at the same time, within a week of each other. That when Muse has hers, the Queen of the Castle one, which is Muse, M-U-S-E. I don't know how she's going to respond to baby being parked under my bed with her kittens. So I guess we're going to have to just kind of let them figure out the pecking order on that one and just keep a close eye on it. Because I would hate for baby to go and take one of her babies, or for Muse to take one of her babies and think of it as their own. But that's the one thing I was kind of concerned about. And, if it came down to it that my youngest one ended up disengaging from the kittens, at least I know that I have a surrogate mom that would be willing to take on that responsibility. Because when we had baby come into our life, she was left behind from the litter that a cat had in our shed, in our little shed outside here. Went to open it up, and there's a cat that went barreling out of there, and there was just the kittens were only maybe 2 or 3 weeks old. So I think what happened was the mom went to go and move them, and when we ended up trapping the mom to get to babies, so that she could be rehomed and taken to a place that she'd be better looked after instead of being out in the wild trying to, survive for the kittens and ourselves. So I phoned a group that I'm with that deals with feral cats and rehoming them and finding them, good homes to go to. So I phoned them and asked them to come down and help me out with this situation. So I don't know, it must have been, I don't know, it seemed like probably like a month had gone by, and there was this little black kitten crying. We couldn't figure out where it came from, what it had, why it was even in the neighbor's yard. So the neighbor upstairs went over and got him from underneath the car, and it was just a little ball, just tiny, tiny little ball, just a little fluff ball. So I ended up putting her in a carrier and introduced her to the cats here. I had little kittens, so she made friends with Monkey that we lost. He ended up dying from, he got leukemia, or it's like a leukemia virus. It's called FIP, so it's feline um, internal respiratory problem. It attacks the respiratory part and, fill up with water. But there's no cure for it. If your cat has it, your cat has it. But you can actually prevent it from getting them shot. So get your cats vaccinated so you don't have to experience what FIPS is like. I think it's like another thing for parvo, kind of the same idea. There's no cure for it. Once you have it, you have it. And it's, he was just awesome. But he taught us, you just don't give up. Don't give up. Just because you have things going on and that may not be positive in your life, or you may end up with a terminal disease or something like that, that to enjoy every minute that you have in your body, or that, you know what I mean. And that's the one thing that I learned from Monkey, was that no matter how much time you get, you never know when you're going to end up leaving this world for whatever reason. You don't know what's in store, or what's happening with yourself, and you have to be really attuned to understanding yourself internally. Meditation helps with that. I've done meditation where I was focusing on healing, like starting to do like the healer stuff, where the visions and stuff and everything, doing scans. And I ended up actually in a bloodstream, meditated. I was actually within a bloodstream, not like physically in there, but spiritually. I was in the bloodstream of someone, and it was very ill. And it was, there was like little like bloods, like blood cells, that's what I want to say, that were flowing with me. And I'm like, okay, weird. So it came into light that this girl I knew is a good friend. She's been dealing with, medical issues for most of her later life, that she's, kind of attained these situations. And she's been slammed twice, like with a double whammy. She has, I'm not going to say her name, but personal, for privacy issues, but has hepatitis C and also has the AIDS virus. So I think that's why I was supposed to assist her, because she was getting a lot of body pain. So energy healing, heated healing with hands and stuff. So I did some work on her knee that she was complaining about. But it showed me who was going to be coming next to for me to work on. And it was kind of weird, because I didn't put two and two together at the time of knowing who was going to be coming into my life that I already knew had this, that I would be, helping and healing, right? So, you just don't know. So take advantage of every minute you have. Like I'm bogged down. I don't get to really go and do a whole lot. I choose not to, because I'm so exhausted by the time I finish doing anything. I've got like 60 million things on the go, and only got, 599,000 of them left to do. You know what I mean? Like still working on project one. And so, the transition can be very difficult when you're having a spiritual awakening and trying to, get moving on your path and letting go of everything from the past. So that's why I wanted to name the video, Why Can't You Let Go? What is it? Why is it so fear-based that people don't let go? Is it because you're fearful of what is coming, or the lack of what you're going to have? You start appreciating things more for what you had when you had it. The old saying, you don't know what you're missing until it's gone. But when you take every moment and really connect with life itself, personally and spiritually, whatever way you want to look at it, it becomes very different, a very different experience. You don't have to You don't have to choose to live your life the way that you wanted to live it, or you allow somebody else to live it for you. Um, so I decided that I wanted to live. I, went through my experiences of a near-death experience where I was taken into a black van. There was a form behind me. I didn't get to see the formation because it was just black. It was just darkness. The infinite black hole, whatever you want to call it, our existence before this, purely as energy, black, dark, whatever you want to call it. So then I had the experience and, um, felt like I was literally being buried alive inside a coffin. I felt like I was underground in a coffin. Then I was transported quickly into the black mass, and I was shown pictures of my children through little windows that were below me because I was above them and I was looking down at the pictures. And they were moving, like looking at them while they're living still and watching the experience happen and unfold right before my eyes. It kind of freaked me out. Um, but when I came back, but I didn't feel, the one thing that I know I didn't feel was I didn't feel sadness. I didn't feel like I was longing to go back. I didn't have the feelings. I didn't feel anything, like I didn't have any, attainable or how would you say, tangible feelings being there. Like I was not emotional. There was no emotion. There was no, tying to that emotion, the feelings and like, you get upset or, like feelings, and I wasn't feeling anything. I didn't, I was being logical. I was actually being more logical with what I was seeing and trying to understand it for what it was being shown to me as. So I was using a lot more, but I wasn't feeling anything. I didn't have any emotion. I didn't feel a loss. I didn't feel like I was being separated from them, that I was ever never going to see them again. I never got upset about it. It was like, oh, well, here I am. Now let's just deal with it. And I think that's what a lot of people need to understand is that things are very different. So if you end up having a spiritual death and you transition into an actual full spiritual being, things can get very, very upsetting when you're actually in the physical plane. Though, when you're in a meditative state and you're doing your energy work, you're doing your meditation, you're leaving your body on a spiritual level, it's not the same as what I experience. Like when I do meditation, I still have feeling. I still, have a tethering. Maybe it's just because I'm still tethered to my body and I still have the sensations, but I didn't feel like I was tethered when I had my NDE. So I came back and woke up right away, like it was like instant, but it had been like a few hours in the physical plane for that experience to happen. But while I was in the experience, it felt like it was like snap of a finger, next frame, next frame, next frame, next frame. But on the physical plane here, it was like 4 hours. I can't explain it. Can't explain it. So yeah, so yeah, so and that's exactly it, Daisy. People just, you know, um, don't think of it on a logical level. Like I never experienced anything like that before, except when I was younger. I used to have like weird shit showing up and like the shadow people and all that stuff. Put me in the hospital at 14 because I got scared. I was in a psychiatric ward thinking I was losing my mind at 14, which is very difficult. It was a very difficult situation. One second. Has a rippling effect into their life, and that's the way that I've come to understand it. So if you feel like you're going through your spiritual awakening and everything is gone, you've lost everything, it's because when you transform from an old soul being and you literally, it sounds funny to say it this way, but it's like you're literally walking through a door that's the size of, a needlehead, and you're trying to fit yourself through there. Are you going to bring everybody with you when you go? No, you're not. So you have to really think logic to that. The eye of the needle is only yourself. You can't bring anything with you. You cannot bring family. You cannot bring friends. You can't take anything with you from this plane. So that's the first step of when you have an NDE or, your spirit, your physical death going into a spiritual being of a person, but still, taking form of a human body. Um, So, and it didn't make sense to me. It didn't make sense to me why everything was like falling away from me, and I didn't have control over it. I couldn't bring it back. No matter how hard I tried, like I would fight with my kids won't show up, and it was just a battle to try to get them to come into my life. And I just had to release. So all I had to do was just release and allow the experience to happen. There was no fighting it. There was no saying, no, I don't want to do this right now. I'm not ready for this. This was like, you're going off the edge of the planet, flat earth, and you're jumping off the edge with a bungee cord, and that's all you get. You know what I mean? So there's nothing to fear when you have an understanding of that everything will be okay, regardless. Wherever you end up going on your NDE or having whatever experience you're having when you're having that NDE, it's okay to let go. It is totally okay to let go. Because nothing can harm you. The only thing that can harm you in spirit is what? What can really harm you if you're in a spiritual being? Just think about it. I talk to my spirit energies all the time. They're around all the time. They do little things around the house that are quirky, like leave change in weird spots, or kicking my bed. That's the one thing I really hate. It really pisses me off when they start kicking my bed. So it happened to me just a couple weeks ago. It happened too, and it was like they kick the end of the bed, and your bed jerks, and that it jerked. Like it wasn't just a tiny little bump. It was like a kick, and it shook you with the bed. You know what I mean? Or somebody pushing on the bed, just kind of rocking it, like get up, get up, get up. It's time to get up, get up, get up, because they don't sleep. They don't have to. They don't have a body that has to repair itself, or it has to have a rest, because it can only do so much. Housing that spiritual energy and that life force is very difficult. So as far as that, you don't really have anything to fear. Death is not going to be the final be all end all. If you've had this experience, then you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't had the experience, then pay attention closely and talk to people about it that have had these experiences, so you get a very clear understanding as to how to better maneuver the situation, so you're not panicking when you're there. Like people do out-of-body experiments, and they look back and they panic as soon as they see themselves outside themselves, and it just kind of cuts a tether right there, and it freaks a person out, and a person can actually be kept outside their body longer than what is recommended before it can be reintegrated again. So these are things that really do happen. I can attest to them. I've had the experiences where I've gone and left my body, everything just pain, and it hurts. It's going to work. You're just coming back, and everything just hurts. So just being aware of the experiences, and taking notes of what the experience was that you had. Take a note of it. Take a note of the feelings when you re-entered your body, when you left your body. Pay attention to the details, because those fine details are going to help you with your path, for your better understanding, your logical mind to kind of step in and allow you to be able to maneuver it better. So that was what I don't even remember the title now. It's okay to let go. You don't have anything to worry about. You just you have your relationships and everything, to cherish those relationships and let them, if you're having your spiritual awakening and things just seem to be not going any direction for you, it's pushing you in the direction of a spiritual awakening, is what it's doing. There's no question about it. And you're going to end up doing it. And if the universe has to get involved, it will, and it will strip you down to your raw foundation, so that when you go through, you're just taking your soul and your physical body, right? So, but you don't physically feel that, the physical part within, when you're having your NDE, you have no feeling. It's like you're numb, just numb. So it's kind of bizarre that when I do turn my spirit box on, they do seem cold. They don't seem like they're talking or making sense. They're very cold. They're not personable, right? They're very blah, very straightforward, to the point. That's it. Not showing any emotion. Like, they don't tell you, anything about feelings. Whenever I have my spirit box on, it doesn't talk about feelings at all. Not one thing is talked about as far as feeling. It's always talking about the experience, but never about the feeling, the experience. So that's another thing you should kind of pay attention to as well. So That's why I'm really glad that I got the angel therapy cards. Like I was trying to do a stream last night and I was getting problems. So I decided to hardline my computer into my modem today, and it's working better, I think. I haven't had a disruption. But the one thing I want to tell you guys, anybody that's in chat right now, if you look on the lower right hand side of your screen, you have that little dial thing that you can change the resolution. If you're finding that the video is buffering on you now, go in there and see what the setting is. If you're on 1080 HD, you're going to have a lot of buffering happening because it's going to the highest resolution. So if you just drop down a couple resolutions, it'll help with the buffering, so you shouldn't have to experience. Because I don't think that if it was a problem on my end, it would be everybody. Everybody would have the same thing, but it's not. So it's the individual connection that you guys have. Your settings would have to be readjusted. So if you're experiencing that, and you know down in the right corner on the old dial, the resolution, just change it, drop it down a couple notes. It'll end up refreshing, and it should fix the buffering situation, because I don't have buffer set on any of my videos, so it shouldn't be buffering at all. So if anybody's having problems, give that a shot. If it doesn't, then close your browser, restart it, and see if that helps as well. All right, so let's get into the chat. I started rumbling on there and just going on, just kind of your guidance kind of tip for the day, experience and stuff. So let's see what we got going on in chat. Daisy, do we have a list of readings yet? Is there people that want to ask questions or want to discuss what I've been talking about that you would like to have more guidance on, or you've experienced it? Um, by all means, feel free to share your story, right? So we're gonna see what's going on with the list from seeing as she's my only moderator here, and we're gonna. I was trying to do the unboxing yesterday for the angel therapy cards. We got through it, but we weren't. It was right when I wanted to start doing the readings, so maybe that was my sign to, take it easy, because I've already went through losing a little one. Maybe that was my therapy, that I just need to just stop and take a minute instead of go 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 go, and actually think about things that happened. Um, because I try to disconnect from it. I really detach myself from situations like that, and it's not trying to be cold, but it's the emotion, and it takes me. It'll destroy me if I allow it to, right? I have to be really in control of my empathic part of me. Otherwise, I'm just like a basket case all the time. I don't want to be crying all the time and being an emotional wreck all the time. I want to be, enjoying my life and understanding it and being more appreciative of the situations as they're unfolding. It's not that it was a negative thing that we lost the baby, the little kitten last night. It was the situation, her being a new mom. Unfortunately, she decided to go and hide where we couldn't find her, and didn't give any red lights or raise any red flags with me prior to her having those babies. But when we heard the news, we couldn't find them still, and I kept hearing them. And I knew that it was real. I knew that she had had babies, because there was no possible way that I could hear the cat meowing and my partner's mom hearing the cat meowing, and us both being, only having cooler. So I definitely know that it wasn't, past figment of my imagination. So yeah, okay, well, if you change the settings, Daisy, if you go down into that settings and see what your setting is on, drop it down one more and see if that helps. Go down until you don't have any problems. You might even have to go all the way down to 144. The resolution is a little bit grainy, but it's not overly bad. Because it also probably depends, because the stream is now streaming up to different people, so it's different people have different. But if you have that live button, that it says by where you push play and stop and put the volume up, everything on the left hand side, there's a little word that says live, and it should have a red dot with it. If you're not with the red dot, then you're not live. You're behind a little bit, but it'll refresh and it'll bring you up to where it is actually a full live stream. So, okay, so Clarence, you want a reading? I can give you a reading, no problem. We can do it. And you want a love reading? Okay, so we're gonna pull two. We're gonna use two decks. I use two decks when I do love readings, for that simple reason. And look at this. Like I found this picture, so I thought, what is a better background drop than a handsome native dude with a gorgeous Pocahontas type girl, and then we have the dog energy protector of spirit, right? Which is really cool. So I really love my roots, and I'm trying to keep as spiritually based on my roots and my culture as possible. Right. So this is basically how I woke up being a shaman and going through my experiences. You see that white light? It's just bizarre. I love it. I would never change it. I wouldn't sacrifice going back to have things the way they were. Definitely don't want to go back to the way things were. No. Um, yeah. So I have a projector in my room, so that I get to sit and watch movies. We actually, try to make it as fun as it can be. So yeah, so it was kind of cool. I was sitting there just watching TV, and it was like, yeah, okay. It was a lot more comfortable. I'll say that much. Instead of having your neck all cranked sideways, looking at a screen that's, um, I would rather have a projector over a TV. I would end up selling a, you could give me $1,000 TV and I'll never use it, but I'll use a projector as much as I would the TV if I was, you know what I mean? But yeah, projectors are the shit, man. You hook up your TV to your computer, or your projector to your computer, and you can just stream right through their direct line. It's fucking amazing. I love them. I would never give it up. Once you have one and you get one of the smart projectors that you can hook up your Wi-Fi and everything to, that's like an Android box, all in one. Those are the ones you really want to be getting, not just a projector that you have to hook up the internet and Ethernet and all that stuff, the wireless ones and all that. Make sure it's a smart projector. Don't just get some projector because the price is good. Make sure you've got your Wi-Fi, you've got USB ports, you've got HDMI ports, all those things that become an essential need when you're dealing with a projector. Like I've got an HDMI outlet, I've got the VGA outlet on my computer, so I watch it to the HDMI, hook it up to my projector and watch TV, direct line. Whatever I was playing on my computer is playing to the projector. So, but you can also just have the settings. I'm going to just change this for a quick minute for you guys and show you here. While we're waiting for a minute, I still have to do this much, but where's my mouse? Okay. I'll show you exactly what I mean. This is just like kill. This is like kill. Okay. I'm just gonna take that one away. That one away. That one away. Where's that one? So, yes, this is what it's gonna be and what it looks like, right? Okay, so you get Google and everything, right? So you get it all. So we can actually do this. This is what we can do, right? What is a better way? So what's a better way than seeing yourself big in life, right? See, this is what I mean. Like, how could you not like enjoy having, yourself bigger than life, and it just playing and playing and playing and playing for an infinite amount. It's just repeating itself, and I don't even have magic mirrors or anything happening here. But you see that how it goes, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's crazy, isn't it? It's bizarre. See, and I'm looking at myself, looking at back at myself. Isn't that bizarre? Gotta love it. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. Um, see, everybody looks at a different way. Here we go. Ready? We're gonna do this again. Now, if that doesn't fuck your mind, I don't know what will. Ready? Yeah, sitting backwards live. So isn't that something that would blow your mind, right? So it's nothing. It's just there's no fucking mirrors or anything happening here. This is just that. Look how long it took for the last one to get there, get caught up. So if you're worried about lagging, Daisy, I think there's a little bit more scarier stuff to kind of try to wrap your head around. Um, did I look to the side just now? Whoa. So they're all talking and I'm just being still. Next. You can go now. Oh, give you guys something to wrap your head around. We're just gonna hang out. We're gonna just check her out and see how she's doing. Doing a good job. I think they're doing a good job portraying me. You know, they're pretty good at keeping in sync, but just a little bit off. I'm looking at them. She's looking at her, and I'm looking at both of them. So you can go tell Jay Chris in his stream. His name is JKRIS. He does all these kind of weird things. He gets like totally into this stuff, but there's a delay. So if you're just saying that you've got a bit of a lag, look at the lag that I have. Watch, these guys are like so slow catching up to they're gonna turn into ketchup instead of being the shiny tomato getting across the road, right? So they're just like delayed by what 10 seconds, 15 seconds. You know what I mean? So I don't think a 15-second lag is really pertinent. I think we need to worry about something else. See? Don't ask me. Don't ask me. Don't ask. Don't ask. I can't figure it out. Okay, so I'm gonna just pull. Forgot I have to do the smudge. Smudge. I'm doing it. Okay, I'm gonna get the smudge started here. Okay, so you guys pay attention. Okay, no playing around. Go tell the next one. That's war. Isn't that bizarre though? I shook my finger at the one back there. Isn't that crazy? Okay, so we're gonna do it much now. We're gonna cleanse the energy, but have fun with it, right? It's nothing that you can't figure it all out at once, right? So take time. Try to wrap your head around what you're, kind of focusing your energy on lately is sometimes more pertinent than, the energies that we're trying to deal with. Okay, so when you cleanse all you guys, I'm going to send you some positive energy so we can clear the connections for us to have good messages brought through today. And bless our cards, and we'll get good answers, negative or positive, whichever may be affecting our lives or may be giving more insight into our lives that we need to know at this time. And for your reader to be cleansed for good thoughts, truth only from the words that I speak, and to see only the words that need to be seen. My journey will carry me forward with good intentions and integrity, that I will not fall or never stumble, but I'll be able to manage and get back up on my 2 feet again every time. Every time I'm managing. Okay, so I'm going to put that over there. So Clarence, you want to have a reading? I'm just going to pull, hang on one sec here. One sec here. Okay. So we're going to do Clarence's love reading right after we do. I'm going to pull. I just wanted to pull the angel therapy cards out for you guys. I just want to see what's going on. Why is that? But yeah, so these are the new ones that I got for us. They're really angel therapy. They're not just angel Dorian virtue though. They're nice quality. Love the. But if anybody can guess how much I spent on these, you'll get a free reading if you can guess the exact amount that I spent on these cards. And if you do, then I will give you a 15-minute free reading. Okay, so you only get to put in one choice of. You only get one chance at guessing the price of how much these cards by Dorian Virtue, with a hard box, with the guidebook, and the quality of the cards is the upper hand of quality. They're the stiffer, more they're not just playing cards. They're not slippery or anything. They're easy to shuffle. It seems there's I have to reconnect with my guides again for my angels and everything now that we have. Oh, fairies. The fairies are coming. The fairies are coming. Fairy energy is here. So I'm going to let you guys figure that out. You only get one guess at how much I spent, and the person that gets closest to it will end up getting a 15-minute free reading. So that's just a little giveaway that I'm giving you guys, a chance to figure this out. And then when everybody's kind of done, had a chance to put it in. So Benita, you said $50? No. Clarence, you said $12.99? No. Evelyn Morris, you said $25? No. Daisy, you said $14? No. Anybody else want to take a stab at it? When you guys hear the price, you're going to be choked. I didn't realize until after how much I paid. And I did get an angel book as well for angel numbers as well with it. So I got 2 items for this price that you guys are trying to guess on. I forgot. You also got the angel book of numbers, angel numbers 101, also given to us in that price. So you guys want to redo it? You guys want a chance at guessing one more time? Okay, we're going to open it up to everybody on the channel that's in chat right now to be able to guess how much I paid for an angel number 101 book and for a set of Dorian Virtue cards that are in a hard box, good quality, excellent quality. But the price that I paid, unreal. Fucking unreal. I'll tell you that much. That's all I can tell you. That's all I can tell you. So has anybody had any angel numbers show up for them lately? Some numbers that have been repeating? Or do you guys just want me just to tell you how much I paid for it? Or you guys really want to earn that free reading? Then have at her. Let's get her done. So if anybody, while we're waiting for this to kind of happen for you guys can all have another guess. We're going to pull some angel numbers. So if anybody's been seeing numbers. The number of people in chat. It says there's only 4 people in chat. Why would you go on the number of people in chat? 222? Okay, so let's see what yours says, Clarence, first. We'll do a couple of angel numbers here for you guys. So 222, Mr. Clarence. Trust that everything is working out exactly as it's supposed to. The divine blessings for everyone involved. Let go and have faith. That's yours. Evelyn Morris, you are picking angel number 5 that's been showing up for you. Okay. See, I don't know. There's like from 0 all the way to 999 that you can have showing up for you. So number 5, angel number. The significant change is occurring, always for the better. It's a good idea to call upon heaven for help with life changes. Is that resonating with you at all? Clarence said $65. No, Clarence, you're not. No, not the right answer. Benita is going to say $35 for both items. No. Daisy, the unknown, says 5. No. Benita Bala, I have been seeing 114. Okay, so 114? Let's see what we got. I would just saw 141. Why? Okay, so 114. Ask the angels to help you to stay optimistic as they are urging you to keep your thoughts at the highest vibrational level. My hair is just like, this is really bugging me, this little spot right here. Okay, so 7-Eleven. You know, we have 7-Elevens up here. You guys have them in the States, don't you? 7-Eleven stores, you know? Okay, so 7-Eleven for Miss Daisy. Okay. So is everybody done guessing? I have, how many guesses did we get? So we got 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we have 3 people that guessed out of the 5. So there's 2 people that haven't put in their 2 cents as far as how much I paid for both items. Okay, so next number we're going for is 7-Eleven. 7-Eleven is in heaven. All right, so why is it so hard to get that page? Continue with your affirmations and visualizations. They are working. Okay, this is tricky. What's tricky? What part is being tricky? So 57. You paid nothing. I wish. I wish I paid nothing for them. So number 57. So for the person that's having 57 show up, it says that the changes you're experiencing are for the best. Trust these changes are leading you where you want to go. Okay? So just have faith. All right. I paid nothing. Well, I would like to tell you that I didn't pay nothing. But I also didn't pay the highest guess of $65. So somewhere in between there is how much I paid. Definitely. I can tell you that much. But you guys are just going to be like, what the fuck did you manage to get it for that? I got it for $2. $2. I got basically $1 each. That is the cheapest set of tarot cards, but quality-wise, they're not cheap. I priced them after and looked around, and these ones go for anywhere from like $35 up to $60. Yeah, $2. I paid for shipping, which was $2.50. She ended up not being able to ship it properly, so she ended up expediting it express post to me because it was supposed to be shipped out, and she was already like 4 days over the ship out time. So I said to her, otherwise I'm going to have to, cancel the arrangement. No, and I'm not kidding you. I paid $2 for the cards, and I paid $2.50 for the actual shipping. So basically, Daisy, you were the closest. $4.50 in total, including shipping. But $2 was the actual price that she wanted just for these, and I went, wow, that's crazy. So yeah, so it was a bonus for us. So we ended up, paying it forward to everybody and doing the free readings. That it paid it back to me to be able to get something that is beneficial for our channel, for us to have, that we get to use, and having the universe drop it in my lap. And it showed up on my screen. I went, what? I'm on that, and I did. I actually went and told her, I want these cards. I don't care. I paid for them. I want them. So she actually lives in the same province as me. She's only like 4 or 5 hours away from me. Like I could have drove up there and back by the time she would have shipped them out. Like really. So I just want to be able to say thank you to the universe for the book and for our angel therapy cards for the channel. We're always trying to do good things around this channel. Keep everybody on a higher vibration. Help people do healing, get understanding and insight into situations that you may be facing. So everything that goes in always comes back. Okay, and that's the way that I like my karma to be. I do not like the negative karma that happens to pop up every once in a while from when I probably was in my past life. That's now filtering through. But I have a better understanding, and I'm able to kind of handle it a little bit less emotionally, and just be the logical concept. And it's been fun transitioning. It's been fun. It's like waking up in a new body, but just the same body, but new, like brand new again. Okay, so that's why I want to share those with you guys, because I'm really excited about them. And it's angel therapy. It's not just an angel cards. Okay, these are angel therapy cards. Just what we need here. We need therapy. So, this is going to be the cheapest therapy that anybody is going to receive. Free. So, we're going to, I just wanted to pull one and see what the energy is like for us. And I want to see what the angels have to say in regards to the situation that we're playing, right? We're having more fun. We're being more expressive in a positive nature. And that's what I like to try to do here. I could be in the shittiest mood, and by the time I'm done my stream, I'm in the best mood ever. Oh, okay, we're not taking low vibration cards today. Angels and guides, we're not taking low vibration cards right now. We want high vibration cards. We want to have high energy. We want to have positive energy. Okay, so now I get comfortable here. Okay, comfy. Move me up. Okay. So we're gonna see what's in store for us. I'm gonna try. Oh, no. What's going on here? Okay, hang on. I got some cards backwards in the other ones. Okay. Okay, so we're gonna give them a couple more shuffles. And I'm not gonna shuffle them hard. I'm just gonna let them fall where they may. And yeah. Put this down so you guys can kind of see what's going on. I gotta move you guys over this way a bit. There we go. Okay. Yeah, I'm trying to get everything organized and just have everything. These are the dream pictures I'm working on next. I got 2 white ones that are coming up. I'll show you the other one later that I've been working on. Okay, so we want to know what the angels and guides have to say to us. Oh, we had ones that literally are standing upright. Like, look, they're standing. They're shining and facing the light. So I think we'll take them. There's a definite message that's having to come through for somebody here. Emotional sensitivity. Were we not just talking about that? How being emotional wreck that I could be when I totally attach myself to the feeling in itself. So I think that's probably what the messages are. It's bizarre. I can't explain it. It happens, and this is the way it goes. I'm very in tune with the energies for the sake of positive, information that's going to come through. So we got emotional sensitivity. We have the throat chakra in reverse, and we have the indigo in reverse. So the emotional sensitivity, I think, is what a lot of people are trying to cover up. Well, it's not so much that you're covering it up, but you just don't want to deal with emotion. It seems like it's a lot more harder work now that, you have things going on in your life, that maybe this is maybe the lesson that you need to learn is just to take patience with the emotion, allow the emotion. It's like that wave that comes rolling in. It's going to roll in anyway. You just have to be, bracing yourself for what, is packed behind that wave that it's bringing with it. So metaphorically speaking, it's like standing on a beach and you've got this big tidal wave coming to you. Are you going to run, or are you going to stand there and face, say it was like the tidal wave was dark energy, past, all your karma coming at you now, in one hell of a big swoop. Are you going to run away from the karma and let it keep chasing you, or are you going to stand up and face it so it becomes just a little ripple in the water, right? So these are things that you have to think about. Sometimes we have to take and just work through our emotions and give them life, and then give them, and release them, right? So it says, honor and respect your deep sensitivity, as it is a gift to us all. Okay, so being emotional is not a bad thing. I know a lot of men that have an issue with that, and it takes a lot to break down the masculines to be more in tune with themselves. But with work and situations that are happening around, just building a person's confidence around that is a lot of what you basically have to do. But allowing it to be an emotion, we cry, we get over it, we move on, right? So learning to let go of that emotion, or that attachment to the emotion or the experience, is what I mean when you're unpacking your suitcase. You have to let go. And why is it so hard to let go? You have to ask yourself, why is it so hard for me to let go? Why am I not letting go of this? You really have to do a lot of soul searching on those experiences when they do come up. But if you have a problem with it, then I'd be happy to coach you through it and show you how to kind of better situate yourself. And then we have the throat chakra, and mine has been clogged with like you get phlegm or something, you know, when you get a cold, it gets sore, you know, and learning to rest it, and then, you know, don't keep it open and continually going and going and going. You know, vocally being expressive, being, you know, having to be, you know, the person talking all the time. It doesn't always mean you have to talk all the time. It means that you can be silent and let it rest in between. It doesn't have to be like a 24-hour engine running kind of thing, because it'll wear out. You know, you start losing your voice, you know, things like that happening. But I don't feel that that's exactly what we're facing, because it is in reverse. So we're not having to deal with, you know, blockages in the throat chakra. I think that things that are people are learning to, you know, kind of go better with the flow and allow it just to be part of the experience. So the angels are helping you lovingly speak your truth. So that was in reverse. So maybe there's somebody out there that's not speaking truth, that is using their throat chakra or their vocal communication for ill intent. Um, yeah, so that's all I heard for that one. The indigo in reverse. The person you're inquiring about is an indigo, meaning a highly sensitive, natural-born leader. So if you're inquiring about somebody in your personal aspect or your personal positions right now, they are highly sensitive and natural-born leaders. So you know, always have people like that can lead you down a more prosperous experience through life, um, to make that experience, you know, all that more memorable without the added baggage. That's the one thing, you got to let the baggage go, you know, because you're going to pick up a lot more. But you're going to be better suited for when you do your life suitcase this time. You're going to pack it neatly. You're going to be aware of what you're putting in. You know, you're not going to keep those toxic relationships in that suitcase. You're not just going to be running through life and just throwing whatever you can into a suitcase because you're, you know, off to the next city and you're on like a speed dating kind of tour of the world, and you just got to, you know, throw everything in there, and then, you know, I'll deal with it later, deal with it later. Dealing with it later doesn't always mean it's going to be better. For the most part, sometimes, at least for me, it was a lot harder. It required a lot more work instead of dealing with it fresh while it was fresh in the situation. Okay, so we're going to see what's going on for Clarence now. Oh, wow, I'm blue. Blue! Okay. That's weird. Okay, so we are going to take out, you want to know what's going on in love. So you want to know what type of person are you connecting with. Back here for a minute. What is that? Wrong cards. Pop those back in the box for the time being. We'll see. Maybe we'll use them for clarifying cards. Okay, so let's see what the person that you're connecting with is, what you're desiring. Make sure that connection of the desire that you're wanting for yourself to be able to draw this person closer to you. All right. So what's going on for our friend Clarence in love? Is the person he's connecting with aware of him? Is the person making a move to come forward? And we've got the Wheel of the Year and the Fool. So definitely there could be a new beginning, a new feeling of love coming through, but not to rush, because it might not be the timing that it needs to happen right now. So don't focus all your energy into it right now. You know, with cards being in reverse, we always kind of look at them in a negative fashion. It's tough. But I don't think that that's the main thing that you should really be worrying about. It's something that you do want to have happen, but, you know, the universe is not ready to reveal this person to you quite yet. They may still be doing some work internally on themselves, but you're definitely looking for a deep connection with this person, which you will end up having. Like, you will have like the Wheel of the Year, so it could be, you know, the blessings of, you know, true love coming into your life over the next little while. That phone's going off. But we want to know more about her personality. So she might be new to the journey. With the Fool card, she might be not wanting to take this new journey. She might be pausing on it. You know, maybe she's coming into the spiritual awareness part of it, and it's freaking her out. You know, there could be a lot of different things that are going on for her. But whoever, that you're desiring or that you're trying to manifest is definitely, working their way slowly into being manifested into a relationship. They don't like to be out of control. They don't like to be controlled and pushed in a direction. They'll go when they're ready to go. Okay. Um, let's see what else other messages are coming through. And then we're going to find out the connection where you can work on building that connection a little bit stronger when we do your cards. We're going to do it his and hers right now. Let's see how these are going to unfold for us. Okay. Then we have the Seven of Wands. So definitely not seeing, not looking in the same direction as everybody else. Her deciding to be opposite than what she normally would be is kind of causing her, it's causing her new growth. Like she's the only one that's actually expanding and growing, right? You see, everybody else, their ones are like, dead paperweights. They're not doing anything magical. They're not doing anything magnificent or creating anything positive. They're just kind of like dead energy. They're not even awakening to the source of that energy. So, she's definitely going to be a very powerful person, in her own power. She wants to have everything, balanced. She's definitely going to be like an outdoors person. She's going to like the outdoors. Like this has really kind of flipped her world upside down. Um, so she's coming into this journey and coming into your pathway. All right, so you guys are infinitely connected. This could be a karmic relationship with the Two of Pentacles. Like you're infinitely connected. So this could be a past life energy, something that you've experienced in your past life as when you were in an energy state or when you were in the physical state. So it could be coming from either one. We'll get a clarifying card on that and find out if it was a physical energy intermingling that you guys had in a past life, or if it was when you were in an energy state, mingling the energy. Okay, so let's see if is this from an energy state, or is this from the physical plane that this connection happened? What do we have coming? Which way are we looking here? Because you guys are definitely, intermingling. Oh, that one just like, it was like a plane that just kind of like shot out. Just like, and look at that. We have the Ace of Pentacles. Or, no, sorry, the Ace of Wands. Beginnings, creating, manifesting, having everything unfolding for you and learning appease to the eye. It's a physical appease to the heart, right? So the beauty that you're going to find is just going to like sing to your heart, and you're going to really appreciate and be very gracious that you have this person coming into your life, and everything is unfolding as it needs to. You always got to start at the bottom. When you want to get to the top, you got to kind of loosen up the reins a little bit so you can expand and fly higher. So this could be you're the wand, she's the butterfly. She's coming in for landing and doing her job, and noticing you, right? It might be her noticing you first, so she might be approaching you. She might come into meeting with you, and you might end up having a few laughs. Like you could end up bumping into her, say at like a coffee shop or something. Just saying. I'm not saying that it will be at a coffee shop. I'm just saying that situations that are leading up to it might put her into the dominant role. Okay, so meaning that she is the one that's going to make the approach. She's going to come forward with the offer. She's going to come forward, and she's going to be the one that starts the connection. And you're just going to just look at her, and it's going to be like you just trance out. You're just like, wow, that's it. That's the one, right? So that's what I see happening in her life, for her, connection with you. Now we're going to pull up cards for you. Hang on. Cards for you. Oh, come on. I'm going to pull out the masculine cards now and see what's going on for you. Are you blocking? What situations are not helping the situation move faster? Okay, so I don't know if you can see that here. I don't know if you guys can see that. My comforter's cut. Already? Okay, so I'm going to just put it like that. You guys can see. I need to switch that off. Okay, so Clarence, what have you been trying to manifest in the love department. Death card. Okay, so the ending, new beginning, is not going to happen. It's in reverse. So it's not something that you have to experience right now. Okay, so now you are the Three of Wands, standing firm, holding into your power, making a choice of what direction you want to move forward in, is something that you really need to focus some energy into, because you're not really paying attention and noticing that decisions have to be made. And the universe is allowing you to be in your power and to make those decisions on your own, based on your own knowledge and wisdom, and the information that you have taught or brought to yourself or went searching for, in regards to it. But you're going to end up making a choice. You're either going to take path A, B, or C, right? That's kind of like how metaphorically I'm speaking. There's going to be a decision that's going to have to be made. Whether it be preventing a death or being able to bring that energy through, or you're not willing to say goodbye to it. I don't think that you're ready for that final, kick at the can kind of feeling. Okay. Like the death card's there, you're holding on for dear life, but you're looking at death, like you're looking at the ending before it happens. You know what I mean? Like you're going to be aware that this ending is coming forward. It's not going to be as scary as you thought it would be. You're going to have a definite understanding to be able to make the right choice when it comes forward for you. And then if you look at the cards here, okay, so I'm just going to show you this. Hang on. Move those up there. So we have, the death card, and then you have the wheel of the year is not happening because nobody's trying to there isn't anybody letting go of anything. That's why. Nobody's letting go. Nobody's willing to take the chance. Be the free spirit on the ledge going, woo, I could fall off at any moment, but who the hell cares? I'm ready to roll, and I want to have fun, and I want to experience things, so I'm out of here. So this person is living maybe in a fearful state, not sure if this is what they really want. But it is what the universe wants for them. And this is what the universe wants for you, is to make that decision to either move forward, let go of, past situations, relationships, unpack your goddamn suitcase, get rid of some of those emotions, and let it go. It's not serving you anything. It's not being of service to you. It's blocking you. You're reminiscing. You're reminiscing about something, or you're looking past situations that you're holding on to still, that you've got to let go. Why is it so hard to let go? What's holding you there? Ace of Swords. So now the Ace of Swords in reverse. Things are not going to come forward to you that you're wanting if you're still going to hang on for dear life to something that, you see no purpose in it. There's no purpose coming forward from you making that decision to hold on to something from the past, because you're reaching behind you. You're reaching off, and you're not doing this and moving it in front of you to bring it into perception or perspective. You're pushing it kind of either to the side to say, oh, I'll deal with it later again. So you're procrastinating. You may be doing a lot of procrastination right now, which is going to block your gifts and everything coming forward for you, for the connections to be happening, right? But you have to stop and let go. So I think a good title of that video today. And then feeling like you're always on sparring terms, like you're doing your own thing. You want to be able to be an independent, stand on your own kind of person, and not have to rely on others for anything. You want to become a very independent spiritual being, and you are just trying to kind of get through the thick of it. Get through the thick of it first, and the battle won't seem so hard. It won't even feel. It'll be like a cakewalk by the time you get done. It's like, you go and train to be, an ultimate athlete, and, like a UFC fighter trains and trains and trains and trains until he gets it right before he starts pulling it out. You know what I mean? It takes a lot of work. It's not going to just be a flash in the pan. You just land in the pan and you jump back out and you're all, spiritually awoken and everything's peachy keen. There's going to be a lot of stuff going on. And that's what you have to prepare yourself for, right? So you're sitting still now. At the end of the result, you're still sitting here waiting for a response from, the universe to give you an answer as to what's going on, that you're getting kind of pissed off and kind of losing hope in the connection. But when the universe wants to give you the message of the person coming forward for you, you need to listen to it and do the work to be able to merge with that energy that's coming forward to you. Because if you're not spiritually balanced when that person comes into your life, it's not going to work because you're going to be on different levels. You're not going to understand each other for the information that you both have and have value to share with each other. You guys are just going to be like two different aliens from two different planets meeting for the first time. You know what I mean? And this person wants to come forward and be able to, bring happiness, bring beauty, bring everything to the plate that you're desiring to have in your life. So that person is being created in the manifestation for you, but you're just not putting in any of the work. You're sitting under the tree when you should be, that message should be coming while you're working, or put some effort into it. Serious effort is maybe what the universe is asking for. That you're kind of slacking at it, expecting it just to like snap your fingers and it's going to be there. It's not how it works. You got to do a little bit more work than that. But you got to do and let go. Okay, so there's a lot of stuff that you're holding on to. You really have to start letting go of some of it. You don't have to get rid of all of it at one time. Just work through it. It's like, okay, so you go on a holiday, right? You take your suitcase, your clothes. You go in for a week, whatever. You bring them a week's worth of clothes. You thought, you want to go live the life. You want to go live your life. You want to have fun in your life. So what do? You go tour the world with that suitcase. If you around the world and be able to bring all those memories and everything back, it's going to be, it's going to start, boom, right? So I'm trying to prevent the big boom happening for you in your life, a tower moment, an extreme tower moment for yourself. And to be prepared for what a tower moment can bring or can experience, or what you will experience within that tower moment situation. Okay, we don't want tower moments. We want to be able to transition smoothly, so there's no bumpy bump bump bump. You can handle hitting the ground and just kind of bump 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 bump. But if you're continually on that bumpy bump 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 bump, you just don't see any way out. You don't have any control over the situation to be able to make it stop. To be able to, kind of grasp on again. You need to just kind of slow down, allow it to be, and live with it. Like, don't take on too much, more than you can chew. But I do see that there could be love coming for you. But if you're not spiritually connected, it's gonna be like you're gonna miss each other. And that would be unfortunate for you not to be able to experience a situation that this person where you've been energy intermingling for, I would say I'm hearing 3 years or three lifetimes together. And it's different, right? So I really want you to take advantage of it and really do the work to have the experience, because it's meaningful. Even if it doesn't work out at that time, doesn't mean that you can't grow together later on. You know what I mean? Just making sure that you're really balanced and ready for, are you really seriously ready for love to come into your life right now? Are you balanced? Are you financially secure enough? Are you emotionally secure enough within yourself? Like all those things, you really have to sit back and say, hey, listen, if I'm not prepared for what's coming for me, because you don't know what her personality is going to be totally like. You can get a generalization on it, but you don't know what it's going to be like. It could either be you guys are too opposite because one's not doing the work and the other one is. It's not the yin and yang that's going to work with that kind of energy. If only one person's doing the work, the other, they're going to get tired of carrying the weight. And if you don't want to carry any of the weight of the relationship, they're not going to stick around. And that's just being honest, right? They're not going to stick around and have to trudge through, the mud with carrying you on their back. You know what I mean? Like it gets tiring. You can only do it for so long, and then you just say, I can't carry it anymore. I have to carry myself every day. I carry my partner. He does the same for me when I need it, and you shouldn't, be one-sided, giving all the time and not receiving anything, right? So, okay, so we have, so if that makes sense to you, hopefully it did, it resonated with you, but, you do have the opportunity. It's up to you to make sure you're making the decisions in the right direction that you want to go in, right? So we're going to change that picture while we're in between readings. So that's what I just want to say. Just be working towards it. It's not like you have to go like a sprint marathon and then, collapse at the end of the line and then just be totally worn out from doing too much work. What I'm saying is just take a little chunk at a time. It's like that big, huge chocolate bar you get at Christmas. What is it? The Toblerone? And it's like a big, long chocolate. You're not going to eat that whole fucking chocolate in one sitting. Okay, so don't think life is going to be happening in one sitting, but make sure that you're running, because the train's already left the station. on the other side. It's coming. You know, you're going to be ready to jump on that train. If it can't stop at the station, you're ready to be able to jump on that train and say, I'm taking back my life. I'm taking back the experience. And I'm going to experience and just live it. You know what I mean? So are you ready to jump on that train that's going to come speeding through your town, that may have your soul partner on it or it may not? You know, those are decisions that you're going to synchronize with that energy and be brought towards her at the right time. Okay? I'm going to get rid of this. Get out of here. A different photo here. Oh, okay. Let's get out there. There we go. So yeah, so just be aware of that, and that could be also be resonating with someone else in the chat. Um, you know that maybe that it's affecting you, and maybe there's some more energy within the chat that somebody else can have, and take what you need from it as well, right? So yeah, so life is good. Life is good, and there's nothing that you can say you had a bad day, but did you really have that bad of a day? No, probably not. But you come to understand that, you know, it's just a day. There's another one coming tomorrow. You get another 24 hours again, you know, to repeat the same thing over and over again. Or, you know, you're going to say, today I'm going to step out of my house and really put my best foot forward, moving in the direction that I want to be positively in tune with my soul partner or the karmic that you have to settle. It's all, you know, they do talk about it, and I've experienced it myself, so I do know, I do understand the concept of the twin flame and the soul partnership, the karmic relationships and stuff. But that doesn't mean that you can't close that karmic relationship out and start anew, right, together, if both parties are willing to do it. Now, that's, you know, me and my partner, we chose to keep standing beside each other through thick and thin. You know, like there's no ring on my finger yet, but there is a ring. You know what I mean? Like that ring's already there, and it may not be visible, but I know it's there. You know what I mean? I know what my role and my responsibilities as a partner are in this life. Um, you know, where there was a lot of hurt, there's a lot of pain that came out, you know, from past lives with him, and I've probably shared probably 5 of them, intermingling with him on numerous occasions. How do I know that? Because I did my homework on it. I did my homework. The other thing that numbers could be showing you is that maybe that could also be your spiritual connection to someone that you've had in your past life, and coming through that the energy field together at the same time, or within, you know, you might even find somebody that kind of got stuck in their situation and just realized that, oh shit, I'm supposed to be on a time frame. I got to start moving. You know what I mean? That's kind of, you know, Native people always say, I'll get there when I get there, right? And that's very, very, I think that's probably the best way to say it. I run on an Indian time, I get there when I get there, you know, because you don't know what's going to happen on that travel from city A to city B to city C, which is your final destination is, you know, city F. So you have to go through all those spots first to get to your destination. You don't know what's going to be thrown at you, or that you're going to pick up on the way, or, you know what I mean? Like, you really have to be aware of exactly what's going on, the decisions you're making. Are they in the best interest for the connection that you're trying to manifest? Are they in the best interest for the person that you're communicating with? To let spiritually on that connection, you still are connected to that person. It's like, you know, you imagine like being Siamese twins, okay? You guys think alike, you do things alike, you know, you support each other, but you're not physically attached. But spiritually, it's like, you know, having a spiritual set of Siamese twins connected, right? That's what it is. But physically, you're not. Spiritually, you guys are like Siamese twins, just stuck together, right? And it's hard to pull away from those ones. That's what I have now, after, you know, we're not gonna do any dirty on anybody kind of thing, right? I just keep moving forward in a positive intentions. um so yeah, so there's, you know, if you really want to, we can talk about it some more. I can give you some pointers on how to, better attune yourself to the experience, so you can really draw in the energy and be able to, kind of put your little beacon out there to whoop, 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 whoop. I'm over here. You know what I mean? So that, you kind of have to lead it in the direction where it needs to go, right? Okay. Um, all right. So cherry blossom that resonated with me too. Okay. So whoever it's resonating with, by all means, you have access to the energy as well. It's not just specific to Clarence. It's whoever can make use of it, right? That's what it's there for. That's what I come here for, is to be made use of. And I don't mean that in a negative connotation either. I'm here to provide my skills and the understanding and logic and the, everything that I have to bring forward to the table and share it with everybody. And that's my gift, and that's the opportunity that I get every day to do that. You know, um, I'm just learning to understand, to pick and choose which ones I see my voice is going. See, I gotta stop blocking that. I gotta stop blocking. As soon as I said, I have to stop. You know what I mean? My throat just kind of went funny. And that's how in sync and bizarre things can really get. Um, your whole perception is going to be absolutely. You're going to feel like rice paper. You're going to feel like onion paper that you do tracing through. That's how transparent you are going to become, and there's no question about it. You're going to become so transparent you won't even know. You'll feel like you've just been peeled, like Daisy, our onion. Remember back when we were talking about the onion, the layers and everything else? Now we finally got down to the core of it, right? The core of the situation. And these are situations that, maybe you've never really paid any heedance to because they're not relevant in your life anymore. This person may not be part of your life anymore. It could be an ex, it could be, past relationships, or even friends that are no longer in your life that, you haven't communicated in a long time that you're still carrying energy for or from. Um, all those connections you keep, you don't get rid of them. They still are there. That's why when I did a video, I don't know, it was probably about 2 or 3 weeks ago, I did do this video, and we were talking about cutting cords. You don't cut a cord unless you seriously feel like a threat from that person. Their energy is just like, for 100% sure, 101% that they're the cause of it. Then you can do a cord cutting. But do that with an experienced person that knows how to do cord cutting. I don't personally know how to. I've been looking into it recently. I do know that, once that cord is cut, that cord you can't replace, you can't repair it. It's beyond repair. Okay, so if that's a relationship that you feel that you don't want to be part of anymore, that you can alleviate yourself from the situation by cutting that cord, that energy connection. And it's just like, take your hands, put your scissors in the air, people, cut the cord. That's all it is. That's what cord cutting is. So if you want experience in it, there's not really too much to experience, but know that then once you cut that cord, you can try to mend it and, kind of build it back to almost the way it was, but it'll never be exactly the same. It won't. And that's experiences in life as well. They're never the same. They're never the same. After you break up from a person, you go back into a relationship and it doesn't feel right anymore. You know what I mean? Like you don't feel the energy, or you don't feel the attachment, because you've already cut the cord. You've already disengaged from that relationship. So why go back into it to re-engage for what? Sometimes I ask myself that question too, because I was really bad, but I would go back and allow relationships to keep coming back at me, come back. And it's like, how many times am I going to smash my head against the wall before I wake up and say, fuck off, leave me the hell alone? Well, that took me up until about 5 years ago. I started getting a voice and learning how to be respected and to be talked to. And, I used to let people just kind of, open the door and barge right in, you know what I mean? Metaphorically speaking, but in reality, it was still happening. They wipe their feet on the carpet, wear their shoes in the house. No respect for me having to, spend 8 hours cleaning the house, and then they just walk in with their shoes on, sit down on the couch, and put their feet on the coffee table. That's one of my pet peeves. Like there's just no respect, and respect is always start at 100, right? When you meet somebody, you're not starting anywhere but at the top. You don't know anything about the person. Everything, could just fall apart in a matter of seconds. But it's you give 100%, I give you 100%. You give me 50%, I'll give you 50%. If you give me 100 all the time, I'll give you that 100 every time. No problem. Not a problem. Even if you fall down a little bit and go down to 75% of the time that you're engaging with me, that there's that 30%. Where did that all of a sudden disappear to? Like when we had scheduled like for 2 weeks, you knew about it. Why didn't you show up? Like these are things that, this is what I'm talking about. Energy and communication is very important, right? So Cherry Blossom, well, I'm glad it resonated with you, Cherry, because I know that you're going through some stuff right now, and we haven't had a chance to talk or kind of step forward into that direction yet. But I have probably time this week to be able to get to doing that coming up. I may have time tomorrow if you want to sit down and talk, by all means. Oh my God, Toblerone bomb. It is. It's the chocolate of the year. Like I look forward to Christmas with the cherry oranges, and I used to get my nickname. I've had so many people call me like so many different names. I could like give you like 5 different aliases that I have, and they all take on their own personality. But I don't change physically. But people, you just kind of alleviate to certain people, and you become appeasing to the eyes. You become appeasing to their soul. Because you know how to communicate with them. I would love it. Yeah, no shoes in the house as well. Oh my God, me too. Huge pet peeve. And it drives me nuts. Like I can't stand looking at dishes. I can't handle, disarray around my house. But if I make the mess, I can handle it. Like that doesn't, like that's like counterintuitive to the purpose. If I make the mess, it's okay. But if somebody else makes a mess, I'll go up one side and down the other and make sure that that mess is cleaned up before I even have a chance to finish talking. That mess better be cleaned up by the time I say my last words about the situation. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm still working on that one. But I take care of my messes. I clean them up. You know, I do what I have to do to get through. But I like people to share the load. You know what I mean? I don't want to be doing it all the time. I'm so done with that. I'm not going to do it all the time. I let my house go, and this is no word of a lie. Usually it'll go for 4 or 5 days of nobody doing anything. I've got a whole counter of dishes. I don't eat that much. I try not to dirty dishes because I hate doing dishes. But I could have like a whole counter. And no, I'm not saying that, it's here nor there. People don't know how to just take their dish, wash it when you're done and use it, throw it in the dish rack. Saves a lot of trouble instead of just throwing it on the counter. Lazy. But I can't be critical on somebody else because I do it myself. So I'm being very hard on myself. And, it doesn't work to just disengage from the situation and just pretend because you don't do any of it or you don't have any input into it that you aren't, still being held accountable for the situation. You know what I mean? So I still make myself accountable, but I'm learning to step back and not being so, I want that plate washed. Like army barracks kind of thing, because I get like that. I get really bad when it comes to messes. And I just throw my hands in the air and say, you know what, Olavi, Olava, right? Comes out. Nothing you can do, right? So I just learned to just shut up. Shut up. They're not going to change. So why waste your energy on telling them? Just do it yourself. So it came down to me doing my dishes. Still even the rest, but I'll do mine. The ones that I know I dirtied, I'll wash them. But the rest, ain't touching. That's what I do. Won't touch them. I refuse to. So my partner will say, well, don't worry about them. Don't touch them. I wasn't going to touch them. But I'm not going to watch you not touch them either. You have to touch them. They're not going to bite. They're just dirty dishes. They're not going to, there's no green hairy monster that's going to jump off a plate because it sat on the counter for 4 days. If there's food on it, maybe we might have a different problem. But we don't have any gremlins living in our house, which is a good thing. All right. So next person in line. Oh. Okay. So let's see what's going on in chat here. Elizabeth. Hey, Elizabeth. Clarence, yeah, I'll take those pointers. That's good. We can figure something out. always can figure out a solution to the problem. It may take a little bit. Sometimes we have to, wade through the pool a few times before we get the answer. But, at least we're searching for the truth and we're trying to find that direction to move it. Right? It's more beneficial. It's going to be more exciting, more like soul, like just you'll feel it right down, just like it's like having like the most ultimate orgasm. Those ones that send you like out the top of you, down, shake you all around, kind of ones. That's what life becomes. And I always get caught up in still, the emotional end, and it wears me out. I get, excited, up, down, up, down, up, down. And if you're going up and down, up and down, up and down, you get to stay on that. And it's only so long before it has to stop because you can't think straight anymore, right? So Benita, Benita Savage, haha. Savages. Yeah, even my girl, my cat, is a savage. She eats and eats and eats and eats, but she's a Maine Coon. She's huge. All right, so what can I help Benita with? How does Robin feel about me? Ruben, sorry, Robin. I saw Robin. I don't know. How is Ruben feeling about you? And I'm just kind of channeling into the information because I still have to learn to start doing these without cards, and not relying on the cards all the time anymore. He's enjoying his life, but he's attached still, is what I'm hearing. Meaning that, the connection that you guys have is a good connection, but it's on a friendship, like a friend kind of level. Um, I don't think you guys really got to get to know each other very well. But it would be one of those relationships that where you would stay best friends for like 7 years and then get married. You know what I mean? Which is nothing. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. Um, Nothing wrong with that at all. But feeling that he might miss out on something if he does. You know what I mean? Like he's being torn in two directions. If he does, then he's kind of committed to the relationship, and that's what his focus will be. If he doesn't, then he has his single life, all the partying, and experiencing life for what it is, but is scared to go and experience with somebody on the same level. You know what I mean? Like I think the fear of spending time with someone, he's able to disengage from people. I don't know why my word today is disengage, but just disengages from people. Doesn't make like really earth-shattering connections in life. Maybe he's afraid of something that's happened with him that he is subconsciously blocking for himself, that he needs to maybe make aware so that this stops happening to him, and get out of that state of being with people, as far as making connections with people, right? Okay, I'll whisper more. But but that's something that he's got to figure out. With everybody kind of going through their shit, people get tired. They don't want to deal with it. They just kind of toss it back in the suitcase till the next time the suitcase explodes, and they still have to look at it. So I usually try to get mine right out of the way. I don't. Now I've taught myself to walk away from the situation, deal with it then, and walk away. That's all. I'm not putting it in my suitcase for it to be rehashed 6 months, 8 months, 12 months, or even like a day later. Right? We're going to deal with it. We're going to get the emotion out. We're going to deal with it, let it to rest, and let it just dissipate. Right? You can't carry it around because you got 1,000 other feelings in that suitcase still, remember, that you haven't looked at. So if you have room to pack one more and you're just going to be that Jenga, that last Jenga is going to make everything fall. That last emotion that you want to pack in that already overburdened suitcase that you're, carrying around could be the tower moment for you. And then you really have to pick the pieces up, literally, and look at them and say, holy shit, I didn't see that before. your perceptions are going to change. Your ideas, the results that you're expecting from things aren't going to be the same anymore. They're going to be different. So that's what I'm seeing. I do feel that he has feelings for you, but he's not sure how to approach it. Um, you know, being friends kind of slows down that getting together kind of thing, but it's asking you, how are you seriously feeling about him? Have you committed to him? Have you committed time and energy? Do you call him and make contact with him on a regular basis? Is there a lot of communication going on between the two of you? Are you guys on the same um, ideas or dreams and hopes that you can share with this person? Are they the person that you want to share them with? These are things that you also have to look at yourself and say, hey, I'm not quite ready yet, so just put a block onto that for a minute. Just let me kind of get myself a little more organized and be ready and be more open to a connection, right? um, I do feel he has feelings, but they're not going to manifest into anything but what he has now, okay, which is um, love, but it's not like on an intimate level love. It's like, best friend kind of, I love you, take care, I love you, right? Um, Maybe he's fearful of it. Maybe he's you know backing away because he doesn't want to get involved. Um, you know, as far as he's concerned, though, I don't feel that he is even thinking about a relationship right now. I honestly don't feel that. Um, you know, when you're communicating with him, are you burdening him? Are you sending like 12 messages a day, or blowing up his phone at any time that would kind of make him kind of step away from him, right? Let's see. We're gonna. Oh, well, what I'm seeing here, he's in a low vibration right now because it jumped and it went right onto the floor. He's in a low vibration kind of moment right now. So maybe he's suffering from depression. He could be feeling a little bit down in the dumps that he could use, a friend, but doesn't know which one he feels the safest discussing situations with. So maybe approaching him with, building that trust field up, that, communication, that, there's no secrets, there's no hidden agendas, there's no, you know, feelings that are going to be replayed out in this relationship that came from a past relationship that hasn't been let go of. So he could be, just kind of, in a state of, you know, it doesn't matter what I do, it's the same thing over and over again. So now it's like, in here it's like taking all of what you have in your life, picking up and relocating. That's kind of like what happens when things go awry, or connections, or you walk away from someone, or you have a falling out from someone. You always feel like you're just kind of relocating again, and then you end up coming back to the same location, where the crime happened, what I mean, where the experience happened, and try it again, see if it's going to bring you a different result. But make sure that you've done the work in between that last moment, and you've really reflected on it, own your part in it, and say, did I really do something wrong? Am I step outside and say, am I bothering this person too much? And being critical on yourself, not overly critical to the sense of making yourself into a depressed state, but to be aware and understand, when things, we go onto autopilot and we do things that we're not aware of, um, because we don't pay attention to the cues that the other person's feeling. We're not paying attention to their facial expressions. We're not paying attention to the body language. We're not paying attention to anything that's going on in their life because we're on autopilot. It's just an everyday thing. Just routine, 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 routine. And it doesn't have to be a routine. The experience doesn't have to be the routine. Oh, there's my nose. So yeah. Um, so let's see. Yes, I have texted. I just asked him, but I'm not sure why he's not replying. Text him after a week, okay, just to check up on him. Everyone, if you want, have already likes his friendship. I want him to be well. I just have feelings for him. So okay. Have you kind of put it okay, so this may sound like, don't get offended with me saying this to you, but maybe take yourself out of the equation right now. Okay, not saying that don't have communication with them, but what I'm saying is step away from you on a personal level and beyond that intimate level with him, right? You know, just be there, be that person that you're going to lend in and kind of help him through it. Um, he doesn't probably have a lot of people that he can confide in, and maybe he's kind of shut down, or he's playing it off as, oh, he doesn't have a care in the world, nothing's bothering him. And usually those people you can see, their facial expressions don't change, they don't smile, they don't do anything, they're just blank. You ask them a question and you're like, hey, how's it going? I haven't seen you in a long time, blah, 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 blah. Oh, guess what happened to me? And just taking yourself out of that. Don't even make anything about the conversation about you. Just walk away, just disengage at that part. Re-engage yourself to being there for him. You know what I mean? Being that support, being someone that, wants to be around. It's not on a condition to want to be in a person's life. It doesn't have to have conditions to be a part of a life. Um, you know, something that you just have to just completely remove yourself from the experience and allow into a different energy on a more personal level, basing it on his experience, right? So you're not tampering your own energy level or the experience, but you're opening yourself up to be able to be more communicative, more bonded, get that connection. Even if things don't work, let it just let it go, because we're going to meet people in our life, and no matter how hard we try not to fall in love, no matter how hard we think that we're not going to fall in love again, it will come forward. It comes back every time. It just gives you a different experience, a different challenge, to be able to bring that to your true self of honestly loving down to the deepest core of your being. You feel it right down in your solar plexus. You'll feel it just literally come down through your head, down your body, right down the middle. And it's like a hot knife, just going right down the middle. And it's going to get to that point that you're just going to melt. You know what I mean? Hot knife through butter, it melts. Hot knife through chocolate, it melts. But you can stick it back together and fix it. You know what I mean? So if it needs to be fixed, then fix it. If it doesn't need to be fixed, don't break it in the first place for it needing to be fixed, right? If it's been broken and you can't fix it, then chalk it up as a lesson of in love, or the situation. And it doesn't mean you have to cut the connection completely. Like talking about cord cutting and everything, don't cut the cord. That's one thing, people want to cut cords, and it's like, oh, I wish I never would have done that, because it's never the same. If you're been in the friend zone for a while, maybe that's something you maybe want to express to him. It's not fair that we have to have feelings. When we fall for a person, they're not reciprocating in the same way. We need to step back and say, what did was there something that I said or did, and then we're too hard on ourselves. That's not how it should be dealt with. We should just be able to say, okay, it didn't work out, wasn't meant to be. And you just chalk it up to a learning experience. And it's easy to say, because, if I was to, like I said to another client, I said to her, I said, if it came down to me leaving, I would be back with my partner in like 2 days. Like that connection is just, you'll know. It's like that elastic band that you both wrapped around both of you. And now you guys are just like going off in different directions, but you're still coming back. You know what I mean? You're still doing what you want to do while you're away. He's doing what he still wants to do and enjoy, and coming back and connecting at the end of the day. Or hey, you know what I did today, and just be communicating and share parts of your life, and maybe your day, and just take it off, you know work into it. Okay? All right. Yeah, so you just have to kind of gauge it for yourself. It's almost like walking into like hostile territory. You don't know which way to bend or maneuver, but you'll soon pick up the cues, and you'll be able to start reading people for their emotions. And your body language speaks tons and tons of information. I could be sitting here and be like, well, just be totally off, looking in a different direction, but still being able to hold the conversation. There's other times where I could be like totally disengaged and be like, I got like a window open on my computer, so I'm, playing on that instead of, focusing on the reason why I'm here, right? And I don't think that's right. That's the lesson I had to learn really, really quickly. Um, but I learned it. Got new boots for it. Got my new shit kicking boots. Just don't mess with me when I get mad. um, so yeah, um, yeah, you just have to learn to be patient. You know, imagine, imagine if you were over in England, and this is back, when the Vikings were, taking ships across the ocean. You can't fly, okay? So you have to take a ship. Planes were a lot easier, a lot faster, a lot, more convenient. So take the convenience out of the relationship. Be inconvenient, meaning that take your time getting to that destination, or that part of the relationship that you want, and nurture it. Start it from, like, you would plant a little seed in your garden, and you would water it every day. You'd look after it every day. You would do all the things that you need to do to make sure that little plant, is growing and moving and experiencing and breathing and living and growing bigger. You have to really, it's bizarre, but if you start thinking like a plant, the things that you have to do for a relationship to work, and think of it as just bringing home a brand new baby, or a brand new plant, and it dies a week later, well, you didn't take care of it very well, did you? So now you have to go back and say, okay, well, now I got to buy another plant. So this is a new relationship now that you're going to bring this energy into again, and not have it healed before you get there, right? So that's basically, what people are going through, is they're not understanding that the healing process has to happen, and the unpacking of that emotion needs to be unpacked, and let it be released and move forward. Um, you know, um, relationships aren't easy. Okay, they're never going to be easy. You're going to have a lot more, you know, people. And I look at this, and I was thinking back to when I was married. Okay, well, putting it into, you know, relatable situations. When I was married, it was easy. It was easy. Like, I didn't have to worry, because I had my husband, I had my ring, and I, had my family. I had everything that I wanted in my life, but I didn't have what I needed. Like, I wasn't getting anything satisfying from the relationship. I wasn't feeling that I was being appreciated for what I was doing. So I just stopped doing it. Right. And then it just kind of went downhill from there. Choice. That was my understanding. And I just didn't want to do it no more, because I was tired of the repetitive banging me. Literally, there was times when I would actually literally go and smash my head against the wall 5 or 6 times and say, does it hurt yet? Yeah, it does hurt. So why are you still doing it? It's time to stop. You know what I mean? That's how bad my relationship got with my ex-husband. I just totally disengaged. I didn't want, you know, he'd be playing pool on the computer and be talking to other women while I'm, you know, watching TV and having chuckles with them. And, like, he just was wanting to be with women. He was a womanizer. So we'll be with whoever you want to be with. He went and had affairs on me when we were together. Go ahead, do that somewhere else. But then I brought that also into the relationship with me. I didn't let it go first. And I caused a lot of problems in the very beginning, because my trust issues weren't due to him being untrustworthy. It was because of what I brought with me from the untrustworthy one that I have just, you know, not healed from, and allowed to say, listen, I didn't deserve it. I made the best we was to walk away when I did. He's dating a 26-year-old now. Good for him. All the better. If that's going to keep your heart young and strong, well, keep at it. That's my, solution for the day for him. My advice for him is keep at it, because if it's going to keep your heart young, I don't want you to die in, an early age. God forbid that happens. But you know what I mean? Like, you don't wish ill on anybody, right? Regardless of whether, your experience was positive, negative, whatever it may be. But chalk it up as an experience. And if you were to actually probably write down all these experiences in your lifetime, and I can tell you from my experience, from my point of view, is that when you actually go through this, and you can let me know if you experienced it the same way, or if it's slightly altered. But those memories that you have of relationships, oh, this person did that to me, or that person did this to me, and you keep writing them down in this little book in your brain. Okay, so you keep writing down these little things that people did against you, harm that they did to you. It's all about you. It is about you. So now you have to wake up and say, why was it about me? I didn't do nothing wrong. Are you sure? Go look to that memory a little bit longer. Rehash it. play it right out, start the reel again, replay it, and was there not anything that led up to that moment that you had the blowout? I can tell you that there, when I had blowouts, even in the relationship I had for the first little while, there was blowouts. I was accountable. I was being held accountable, but I didn't see them. But once I dealt with them, it was like I didn't want to let go of the memory, and it was the memory and the experience that made me feel like I was a person. Like that gave me my human kind of life living. I'm living. You know, I wasn't living then. I'm living now, and happier. I'm more balanced. I'm able to think for myself, do things for myself, and be able to carry on a proper conversation. I don't know. Kind of hit a stumbling block though lately. Just being honest with you, I've kind of hit a stumbling block with communication again. And it's hard because I don't communicate like I used to anymore. I shut down. I communicate more with you guys on YouTube, and I'm being honest with them, than within my relationship. I feel that I get have a conversation, I make any suggestion or anything, and he just starts snap. His whole mood changes. So I just stop talking, and then tells me that we don't have any communication. That the relationship's dead if you have no communication. No, the relationship doesn't have to die because you're not communicating. If you're a Mother Teresa and a monk are going to stop communicating, you probably don't even talk to each other because you're too busy meditating, or you're too busy doing this, or you're too busy doing that, and that's where you start disengaging. You start, it starts opening up for other emotions and experiences to walk in and take part or plant themselves in the experience. So it's not that I have disengaged before with my relationship, the current one that I have. I didn't, want nothing to do. I was absolutely done. I didn't want to go through another relationship, and that was because I was fearful of being hurt. Well, we always get hurt. We fall down, we scrape our knee, we get back up, and we get back on the bike and ride. Even though the bike was the one that didn't even hurt us, it was our own stupidity from the last time of getting on a bike with no shoes on and skidding your feet. You know what I mean? Just forgetting that one small detail can actually have a ripple effect for the whole fucking thing. The whole thing just go right out the window. But then an hour later, it'll come back and be like nothing happened. And it's true. Like I don't even focus any energy on that experience where the emotion is tied to that experience of negativity. I just let it go right away. I just whatever. And then 2 or 3 days later, it happens again. It's like what, fuck it. I don't even want to talk. I just shut right up. I'd rather look at my phone screen and be listening to him talk and nodding my head, yeah, agreeing, and being very limited on the information I want to share anymore. And that's me. I'm closing down again. And when it comes to relationships and then I close down, they usually are the ones that end up walking away. I push them away after that. But I'm trying not to do that. I'm trying to re-engage myself, even regardless of how many times it's done. It's like your kid falls off the bike when you're trying to teach it to ride. You still keep riding with the kid and teaching it, a different direction or a different way to maybe challenge it. You know what I mean? So I'm kind of taking that approach on it. Just kind of going a little bit around the long way around, to get to the store kind of thing together. When you both have, your own set way of getting to that store, but different routes, and the other one doesn't want to follow that route, well, you kind of have to find a way to get them to kind of open the idea up of other options to get to the store, right? Maybe make a new option, a different path altogether to get to the store, so there's no argument. Take the direct, fastest route. You don't have to go around the block 6 times and then to the store. You know what I mean? Okay, so I'm sorry, I'm just totally not even paying attention to chat here. So let me see. Benita. Okay, bye. I'll be there for him. Yeah. Evelyn, how does Brian feel about it? Oh, you women are a lot, and I'm just being honest. You guys are so emotionally attached to these people. You got to let go of the emotional attachment. If that was the last man on earth, it's almost like people are wanting it to be the last person that they ever date. we get so hung up with this emotion stuff. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm not saying that, anything is wrong in it. But I feel that, I think a lot of us have misinterpreted some kind of signal, possibly. Um, and I'm just being honest, Evelyn. This is what I just get that maybe you misinterpreted the situation that you guys had, or the circumstances that you guys were um, last together with. Um, yeah, I know somebody else is going through the very same thing, and I did reading for this person, and just unsurmountable amount of connection, but wasn't aware because the other party wasn't aware of the connections that were really happening beyond the perception of what we see, right? The emotional, the connection, the energy that we're intermingling with each other. We're doing the energy dance when we talk to people, when we, give a hug, or we, just engage in their, situation, or, talking to somebody on the street for like 2 seconds, saying, "Hi, how you doing?" That's your energy intermingling. You don't think of it that way because you're not understanding it that way. But just because your energy intermingles with somebody else's energy doesn't mean that that energy is going to go away, or that it's not healthy for you, or it doesn't have a feeling. It doesn't have a conscious understanding of what it is. Okay, because if you can't explain it, you don't know what it is. Simple. Um, but if it feels okay and it feels safe to do it, then we continue doing it, right? Until we no longer either want to do it or we end up getting cut off. So we're the only species, and this is what my partner told me. He says we're the only species that runs towards danger. Everything runs away from it. If there's an earthquake happening, that we'd be running towards the goddamn earthquake, and the animals would all be rushing the other way because they don't want to get caught in the crossfire. You know what I mean? Or be in a situation that's going to cause harm. They're going to fight. They're going to flee. But we try to stick it out. And sometimes, even in the most toxic relationships, which I don't recommend you sticking it out if you don't have to, but if you feel there's a potential there that can be worked with, or you can manage it without sacrificing your own integrity or your own, spiritual being or yourself, um, then do it. We're here to be helpful. Just pick your battles wisely. Don't take on more than you can chew. If you're not experienced enough in the understanding or the knowledge base for it, don't do it. Do your homework, understand what the emotion is, and really understand your personal emotional threshold of what you're willing to, you know, give up for a person to be part of your life. Are you giving up more of your life than what you would like to be giving? And if you're answering yes to that question, then it's time to step back from the relationships and say, hey, I'm going to step back. I just want it to be working for me and him, not just for the one-sided ego thinking self, but from the heart chakra where you're actually wanting to have this person in your life. That person, you could be blind, have no sight, no ears, but you would know that that person was in the room at any given time. You know what I mean? That is that connection. When you get to that raw connection, you can't turn back from it. You can't. You're like an animal running into that danger, but it's not dangerous, but it's the unknown that's fearful. So it's not really the danger that you're feeling, it's the fearness that you're allowing yourself to feel. And then you're walking in blindsided because all you're looking at is a fear when it wasn't really all that to be feared from, because the person was walking towards you, straight direct towards you, wasn't hiding anything, but you misinterpreted the whole action, the whole intent of them coming forward. And that's where we get confused. But I don't think for Evelyn, um, are you really in this state right now? And I'm asking you this on a personal level. You don't have to answer it in chat, just something that you can think about. Have you done a lot of personal development? Are you just kind of clinging on to this? And I'm just being honest. Don't get mad at me. I'm just being honest and straightforward. Get to the point, get to the root, and let's get moving on to the next problem. But I feel that there's a bit more personal development. I think you're just wanting and personal satisfaction from the situation. It's almost like an addiction to you. You're addicted to this. The feeling that you get, the euphoric feeling that you get when you're around him, that is great. It's great for new relationships because you have that high energy and everything going. But that's the one thing that you get addicted to. You want to have that rush coming to you. It's like, the dopamine levels in your brain, and situations that, make you just feel alive, and kind of get you pumped and get your heart going. You could go and have a jog around the block and have the same amount of effect from the heart pumping as having like a big squabble, or like a throwdown with your boyfriend. You could have ran around the block 6 times and still had the same effect on your body that fight just brought into you, but without the stress. You know what I mean? So these are things that, simple things, people don't think about anymore. They just take the easy way. Oh, well, whatever. And they move on. And some of us, we don't. Some of us, we still harbor that resentment. We harbor, that person did this to me and I'm never going to forgive them. But what is it helping you, or is it helping them? They're not in your life, but you're still carrying on the resentment or the energy, right? So um, that's why I'm kind of, it just doesn't make sense to me. If the person, if you left on bad terms with the person and you are forgetting what those bad terms are, maybe you need a refresher course. Maybe you do need to go date the person for a couple of weeks to be reminded as to why you left in the first place, or why there is no connection. If there is no reason for the connection to be lost, maybe it's just growing in different directions. Or maybe one person is not even aware that they're doing, certain things to cause this situation to happen. Not being receptive to each other's needs. Even if he was to call you every day, you would get more attached to it because it's something that you are craving. You know what I mean? If you cut the craving out and you went a week without talking, would it kill you to take that week of not talking to him? Because I can tell you, he wouldn't even care. The whole week would fly by, and he'd be like, hey, honey, I missed you all week. Didn't get to talk to you. So what's going on? You want to engage with the person. You want to know what happened all week. Because it's just natural instinct. And I'm getting tired. You can see I'm starting to drain out here. So, okay, so let's see. Um, yeah, so Benina, just think outside the box. Try to think outside the box and practice at it before you do it. Even just stand in front of the mirror and say, have a little conversation that you're gonna, present to him. I never, walk into a relationship. I never practice in front of a mirror because I give my truth, and that's just the way it is. Right? My truth is my truth, and I don't have to be accountable to anybody for that truth. But if I'm going to be of service to somebody, then I hold myself accountable for the situation. As much as you're in it, you know what I mean. But I hold myself accountable in that situation as well, right? So that I can get the actual deeper meaning on the understanding of the dynamic of your relationship. I should be like a marriage counselor here or something. I don't know. Something I thought about. Just because personal experiences teach you more than what you would actually learn. If they were trying to teach you what a relationship was supposed to be in school, we'd all fail. It's about living the experience. Hands-on training. um, oh, these, you are so funny. You're a character. I love you. You're great. You're just awesome, full of energy. So may I have some guidance on my general guidance or messages? I found out 90% of what we think does not come true. Okay, so you found out that 90% of what we think doesn't come true. Okay, so how much action did you put into the thought on your part? Honestly, did you, say, okay, well, for a plant to grow, it's got to have water, it's got to have fertilizer, it's got to have, another plant to maybe, pollinate with. There's all those little aspects that people forget about. So when you're going into a relationship, you're only bringing the water. You're only bringing water to the relationship. You think the relationship's going to last, or that plant's going to survive with just water? It'll survive, but it won't be the strong plant that it needs to be. But if you brought it with fertilizer and you took care of it and fed it properly, it would come out twice the size as it would if it was just on a water diet. You know what I mean? Put yourself on a water diet. Tell me how good you feel after a week. And then you go back to eating all the foods that you ate, and tell me how good you feel in that 12 hours that you just went back and started eating everything that you tried to eliminate from your life. These are just little practice, like little exercises that you guys can try. Um, and tell me, did you feel better when you weren't eating? Well, most people know. We get tired, we get lethargic and everything. But some of us adapt to that. Like I've adapted myself to that. I eat maybe one meal a day. I have like a sandwich and a cup of coffee or a donut, and I'll just have a few calories for the day. My body's adapted to that. That's the way it is. Because if I eat and eat and eat, I would just go right. So I have to really monitor my intake, and my body it works for that. Like I can keep going and going and going. Like I haven't slept in. Well, I've slept like 3 hours today since last night, since the kittens were born. Oh, by the way, guys, my girl had 4 kittens. Sorry, she had 5. My mistake. My mistake. She had 5, but we lost one. We lost a little girl, just this little tiny one. By the time I found out where they were being born at, it was too late. So we lost one. So I buried her in our garden. She has a little spot out there, below the cedar trees where mom and baby like to play in the trees. So, put a little cross there for her, and didn't, you know, did a little ceremony, did a little smudge on her, so the energy and everything that she came into this world was so taken out that it doesn't attach to her and her little soul. Um, so it was a night. It was very. I was concerned for the cat. I was worried about what would happen. Um, between the two of them. But I was worried more or less that she wasn't going to care for them or that they wouldn't be latching on. But good news, they are. She came into the bedroom last night. I had gone in the room and I have her little bed set up, her little birth bed that they can have the kittens in and all that kind of good stuff, right? Well, you do end up going through withdrawal. Your body is going to end up withdrawing from the situation, right? It's just like, you know, um, having like an addiction to donuts, and that's all you want. That's all you want. Your body will adapt to the environment that it's being lived in, right? It'll conform to coming out of that state of stress that your body's so used to being in, and allowing it to come out now. It's almost like you're detoxifying your emotions as well when you end up taking away all the sweets and all those carbates and calories that you don't even realize you're taking in, but you are, um, and learning to actually live, and actually eat a very healthy diet. My daughter, she is an athlete. I would not eat anything. I would eat a lot of like red meat and stuff like, but I wouldn't eat a lot of junk food. Um, we weren't really allowed a lot of junk food anyway when I was growing up, unless I was at my grandma's house. But then, yeah. Um, but I never even ate a lot of junk food when I was little, and I was like 100 pounds, soaking wet at 5 foot, 5'5", and I was 100 pounds. Um, I was down to that last summer. I was down probably to about 120, 130. And I used to weigh over 220 pounds 5 years ago. And it's taken me a challenge. I need to get back on my bike because I'm starting to get paunchy again around the center. So I need to get back on my bike and start pedaling my ass off. That's a very quick way to get into shape. Within months, I was like down to like, fitting into extra small pants. And then my medication, like I said, they put me on medication. I went right back up, just boom. It was like, Cinderella's day was over before it began, kind of thing. It's the carriage that was a pumpkin ends up becoming a gorgeous carriage and then turns into a pumpkin after midnight. You know what I mean? it was short lived, but it was fun. I felt good. I was alive. I felt alive again. Like, you walk down the street, guys are just like, turning their head to look at you, and it's like, wow, really? I'm like 45, and I've got like 24-year-olds going, "Hi, Spotty," yelling it down the street as I'm walking by with my, a friend of ours says we're leaving the liquor store. And I'm like, "Look at the body on that one," and I'm like, "Oh, fuck." But I liked it. It made me feel good. It gave me motivation to stay like that because I was attractive. I still am, regardless whether I get to be big or whatever. I still have that security within myself to know that I'm okay with that. But I was starting to get a little bit worried because of the way how fast it came back. It came back within like a month. I was like shot up, gained 50 pounds, boom, like that. Um, so I don't know what is in the medication that's causing that. Like you find a lot of people that are on the birth control shot, they gain weight gain. Um, so I don't know. I do know that it's medication because I wasn't taking the medication before and I was thin. I was feeling good. Um, I was more active. I found myself very active. Then when I start taking the medication, it just makes you feel like and tired and exhausting. It just doesn't work. Trying to keep your happy thoughts and everything that your energy levels are just like through the roof because you're just so alive and feeling great. And then it's like somebody goes and puts a cap on that bottle and keeps you plugged down. No, you can't have that. You can't do that. You're disrupting the balance, right? Oh, there's no balance. I'm a lot happier when I'm thin. When I am down to almost my pre-baby weight, minus or with a couple extra pounds, I can handle that. But gaining another 50 pounds and shooting back up into the clothes that I wore when I was almost 200 pounds, no, that doesn't make me feel good. It makes me very uh, unhealthy. I feel like I've let myself down, and then all those thoughts of, you know, wow, those thoughts of being vain and stuff. It's not about being vain. I was at my most healthiest state. Like I could run a mile. I haven't ran since I was probably 16, running marathons and everything. And I went for a run when I was thin. I can't do it today, but I did it like 6 months ago. I just beelined it down and ran, and it felt good. But to try and run like a block or two, I can't do it right now. My eyesight went all fucked up. Like the medication just set off like red fire bells everywhere were going off, and I was just like, no, I'm not taking it. I'm not taking it. I'll keep it as an if I need it kind of medication. If I need it to, kind of go on to it for a week or whatever to kind of get myself balanced again. But to take it on a regular basis again, there's no way in hell I'm going to do that. No, sorry. I don't care how hard you try. So now they're giving me an injection so that I have to take it. So we're going to see how well, the situation unfolds. But, I don't know. I guess we'll see. But I do need to become more active. But I'm so busy doing like readings and stuff, and I haven't even been on my bike, and it's already like halfway through spring. Like summer's almost here. 2 more months, it's gonna be summer, and I haven't even hit my bike yet. I haven't been on my bike since last, I guess, August, September. It's almost a year. The bike just collects dust. But it's a medication. I had no motivation or no drive in me because it was a synthetic form that was giving me pleasure. The receptors were different. That's why I would rather be active than sitting on medication. I don't like it. It just messes you up. But yeah. So Daisy, let's see what you are going to come through as. What's going on with you? What, are you looking more internally? Are you still working on yourself? Are you, wanting to understand a little bit more of the dynamic deeper on a deeper level for your internal self, or do you want something like general, just outside yourself that you're maybe trying to find satisfaction in? Like worry-based thoughts. I mean worry or frightened-based thoughts. Or frightened. Fear-based thoughts are always going to be there. No matter how hard you try to get rid of them, a new one will pop up. Okay, so you may have overcome some challenges in regards to being fearful. Say, okay, this is just an example, so we'll just use a metaphorical kind of form here. So imagine yourself that you're, I just lost it. That thought just went. So for the next one to come in, we can wait all day. No, but if you're working on yourself, and you feel like you're just kind of hit a stalemate in your moves, you can always rewind back to when you felt that things were sort of we're good. And you play it out in your mind. You don't have to like literally rewind everything, but just visualizing, going back to that actual moment when things started to shift for you, and really start paying attention, playing that reel forward now, the memory of it, playing it forward and paying attention to what was going on. You'll start seeing different things that were visually there that you didn't pick up on, but you will pick up on them the second time you go through. Right? It's like driving through a city that but you've never really been to, but you like the way it looks, so you go through it, just whatever. But you go back and you're like, well, this store wasn't here before. That store wasn't there. That store's still the same, but that store wasn't there. Like, so you're paying attention, but they were all there. All those stores that you said just now are weren't there. They were there. You just didn't see them. You weren't paying attention. Your vibration wasn't tuning into that that location or that certain item, or maybe that was a shop that wasn't appeasing to you at the time. So you just kind of subconsciously just kind of just walked past it, right? Not even knowing. That's what I mean about being aware. So maybe there's things in that situation, and when you're starting to feel that you can't handle it, or that, or whatever, however you want to phrase it, just remember that you have the power to be able to deal with it. You have to, and it's easy to say, and this is the one thing that I hate hearing from people, is put on your big boy shorts, put on your big girl shorts, get a life, get a grip. Sometimes you can't get a grip on things, because they're just hard. You don't want to fully. It's like grabbing onto two, like battery chargers. Are you going to grab the negative and the positive and put them together? No, you're not. You're just, you know, you're trying to keep them apart, and the experience is to be separate, so you can see the difference in them. You know that this one is negative, this one is positive. This positive and negative, they make a charge, and you're not going to stick them together because you're not that dumb to, you know what I mean? Um, there's a lot of different ways to look at it, though. It doesn't mean that you're doing anything wrong, because we didn't come with manuals in the first place. For anybody to even say that they're wrong or they did something wrong, that's based on somebody else's standard that you're implying. Okay, um, so don't worry, don't have the worry, because if you're worrying, you're basing that on somebody else's intentions or their reaction. Okay, and that's the way I see it. If you're basing it on always having second guessing yourself, ask why you're second guessing yourself. Who is the result, or the situation that's a result of this, and then kind of go and review that, and let that go, and you'll find that things will start getting a little bit easier. Like my biggest fear was dying. Like I was like, up until 2 weeks ago, till I talked to my go-to lady that's all the way in the UK, I had this big fear, and it was manifesting. I was giving it more power than what I was willing to give. And I was worried about, what if I died tomorrow? What would that be like? Like, would everything be okay? Is everything dealt with that I need if I was to die tomorrow? And I have nothing, nothing in place. I don't have a will, don't have a will testament, nothing. And that's where I am trying to keep going with my work, with my personal life, with my family life, and trying to get all that to come back now. And and then it's like, if I died tomorrow, would it really matter? No. So then I kind of procrastinate myself into another situation. Then I'm, 2 years later, I'm still haven't dealt with it. I still haven't done it, and I wanted to have a will and everything done 2 years ago when I had that experience of dying. That kicked me into high gear to say, you need to focus on some shit here, because could be becoming a problem later on in life if you're not aware of it. And that's because I have some situations that could end up landing me into a bit of money. So, um, yeah, and I want to make sure that it's not just, stolen or removed from my children having it if I was to die, and that it would still be carried forward for them into a trust fund. But that's not for a couple more years before I see anything happen with it. So we'll see. Um, but yeah, so I don't know. It's really, really hard to really get through the fear. But false evidence appearing real. It's not the thought is what's stopping you. It's not so much the action of the thought that's causing the problem. It's the premeditated idea of manifesting it into something that's bigger, 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 bigger. It's like taking a bike pump on a balloon. You just keep pumping and pumping and pumping and pumping and it, it's going to explode, but you're just going to pump it and just keep because that's what you normally would do. So now you're just doing everything repetitively over again instead of using your logic and saying, no, I can't do that again because this is what happened, or this is a thought that came in after that, and saying, no, I'm not going to feed that thought no more. That thought can just go because I'm going to go and distract myself with a different thought and, kind of move around the circle every time. A little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more. And they always say don't worry, but it's human nature to worry. Like we're always going to be like the person that's going to worry about their best friend, when something happens, or, like example, Benita with her friend, worrying about him. Those are worrying situations that you need to worry about, but not necessarily put everything into, but, the fear-based and the worry situations are easy to say, don't worry about it. But if it's something that is very strong in your belief, or, the situation that happened around that situation that's making you worry, these are tangible things that you can work through, right? It's not going to just stay like that. It's, having to deal with it, and how are you going to deal with it, and maybe finding new coping skills to deal with those kind of emotions. Like when you have a worrying thought, say, write it down. Say, what is the worrying thought? Put it onto paper, and then kind of just review it, write it down, and just come back to it even a week later and see if you've had any thoughts about that since that experience. When we make it part of our reality, it seems to dissipate for some reason. I don't know. I always manage to, everything just kind of rolls off the water off a duck's back, kind of saying, right? But give it a try. Try to write it down. Write down what thought you're having and what you're going to do to try to put some goals in place of that, so you can try to work through it. It's like, being a coffee drinker. You're going to slowly take 1 cup of coffee away a day until you stop drinking coffee. You know what I mean? So you just take one little piece away every time you get those thoughts coming in, and just take a little piece and just say, okay, I don't want you. I'm going to put you over here because it's not what I want. I'll take one of these thoughts over here, the good sweet kind, bring that one in and replace that worrying thought. You know what I mean? Don't totally disregard it, but just deal with it and recognize that situation is causing those. So maybe try to eliminate those situations until you get a better hold on it, or people that are causing those situations to happen or bringing out that energy for you. Maybe just try to, withdraw from it for a little while and just try to grasp why these worrying thoughts or these fear-based thoughts are happening in your life. And it wasn't until, like I said, I talked to the lady in the UK that I go to, and when I'm getting like those thoughts, and I was very gracious. I haven't thought about wanting to die or what's going to happen when I die, and fearing that, having, to the point where, what if I wake up in the morgue and I can't get out of that cubicle they put you in, that freezer chest thing, and I come back to life as a miracle, and I'm banging on there, and I, having that experience of dying in that cubicle for a second time. You know what I mean? Those are things that I worry about. Those are the worrying thoughts, the fear-based thoughts that I get. So just imagine what it would be like. That would freak me out. That's what I get worried about, because of so many experiences that I've had with that. Coming back here every time that I disengage or I want to leave here, I have an experience with my guides and literally come back. And so it's made me kind of have like a reverse psychology of what happens if something happens to me and they call me dead, but then, a miracle happens. You hear people coming back to life after 90 minutes of being flatlined and coming back to life. What if I'm sitting in, one of those little fucking freezer things, and I come back to life after 90 minutes and I can't get out and nobody's there to get me out? I'm going to die inside that container and that restriction. So maybe it's fear of restriction on myself. You see what I mean? Yeah, so, just write them down. Just give them a life. Let it, kind of release it. And if it keeps coming back, really, and then, ask yourself why it's coming back. Is there an underlying interpretation of the energy? And we can talk about the detail of it if you want, and at a later date, days that you can email me, and just maybe we can kind of work through them and kind of interpret them for maybe the underlying message that your subconscious mind's giving you. You know, that could be a possibility too, right? It could be a subconscious trying to reprogram the thought process, and it's a stupid brain is what it is. It's like that machine in War Games back with Matthew Broderick or whatever his name was, and it was called War Games, and that machine was relearning every move over and over again, but wasn't winning. Right, so that's kind of like what you're doing. You got like a supercomputer, and you just keep putting more information, more information, more information, and it's just gonna, take that information. It's just gonna like overflow with that information on one level or the other. Hang on one second. I just gotta grab something to drink here. Okay, I'm back. Sorry, guys. Oh, okay, I didn't even realize what time it was. I haven't even 2020. There you go. Let's look up the number 20, because there's 200 above that, and then I've got 2020, and then I've got 2019. So let's see what number 20 is in the angel book. Let's see what we got here. So 2020. Your connection with the Creator is strong and clear. God asks you to fill your heart and mind with faith. Ask heaven to help in doing so if you desire. Your faith is being rewarded right now. See? All right. Summary. Do we have anybody else on this list after this, or that's it? Because I didn't even realize it's already like 8:30 here, so I want to get this. We'll do this one, and then we'll kind of have like an unwind, and then we'll say good night for the time being. But I will do yours, Marie. Yeah, and just give it a shot. We'll end up finding, if that solution doesn't work, we'll come up with something else until we get it to figure out. And we'll figure it out, right? That's my guarantee to you, is that I will spend time to help you figure it out, right? So you have my word on that one. I have a lot of love for other people. Okay, so Marie, you want to know what's going on in life? Okay, oracle cards to use today. I'll try doing some angel therapy cards with the witches or the goddess cards. Or no, let's just do the witches try. Okay. I'm gonna actually pull the book out too with this, because I want to see the actual book meanings. Okay, so let's see what's going on for you, Marie. And then I gotta go make dinner. I didn't even realize that. Being a great girlfriend, I'm not even made my man dinner yet. That's bad. Okay. Okay, so for Marie, what is going on here in her? You wanted love and career, right? Okay, regarding work and love life. Okay, are you on the right path? So is Marie on the right path? Is there any messages in correlation to her career or her love life that Spirit would like to give us today? Help her move forward in the direction that she sees fit, with a bit of guidance and action. Are you trying to go in like a lot of different directions right now? Like your mind is. I'm kind of getting the feeling like you're kind of not sure as to what direction to be going in. We've got the Knight of Wands, so it's almost like you're at your last kind of resource, you've tried different things in life. Didn't give you satisfaction. But there was one out of that really sticks out for you that actually you felt um, you benefited the most from the experience, or the situation that, this could be in regards to your career life, is what I'm seeing, is that there was something that really piqued your interest when you were thinking about a career, and maybe you might want to take an option on that, maybe do a little bit of review on it. um, you know and you're definitely working towards being on that path, like you're asking for guidance and direction from the universe. You're relying on something that's higher, a higher source, but it has worked, and it's proving itself to be working for you, as far as asking your guides, your higher self, God, um, whatever your belief system is currently at. Um, but you're prepared for whatever comes towards you. You're definitely not going to be, you're not going to show up at the wedding without the wedding dress. You know what I mean? And just walk in, with a lingerie kind of thing, and pretend that it's not there, right? But it's still there. Um, is there somebody that has like little white dogs? Marie? I'm seeing two little, like those little schnauzer kind of little puppies, small dogs, or a cat, or a pug. Could be a pug kind of puppy, you know. Um, if you can confirm that kind of information that I'm getting given to me. Mm. Because I do see like a little puppy, like a dog, two of them, two little white dogs. I don't know why you'll be showing me dogs. And Eight of Cups. So asking the universe, following your dreams, making sure that you're, being guided in the direction that you need to, have faith in. That the universe isn't going to steer you wrong. You could have somebody that's being envious of you right now. Um, or it could be you wanting, you're desiring to be like the Queen of Pentacles, to be financially stable on your own independently. And there's another little dog in the picture on this one. So there's definitely somebody, or maybe that's the energy of the person you're interacting with, is like the dog, like a real dog, like dirty dog, or, he's a dog, just doesn't, appreciate what you do, but is staying loyal. You know what I mean? Like it's man's best friend, but it's your best friend. Um, so you're not feeling like you're really, um, definitely you're not at where you want to be as far as your life plan, like the goals that you had set for yourself. You may have fallen kind of away from those goals, but I do feel that there's going to be like an energy coming forward for you. It could be a water sign energy that's going to be coming forward with the Knight of Cups. Um, it's going to make an offer, but it's going to be from a guarded position. Like he's not going to be on the same, like if you look at, he's on the horse, but he's making the offer, but he's on the other side of the river. Like he's on a different path than what you would be, and if that is the person that you want to be with, you have to be accepting of whatever kind of situation they're going through, or that they want to go and try to experience to heal, maybe. Um, but did take notice of you. Okay. Is there somebody that's had arm surgery, like all the way up their arm, like from like say here all the way up, or like in the shoulder area? Has anybody that has had, have they had a broken shoulder? like right here where it's been like, you know, mostly up in here. But I'm worried that this person that is going to make the offer, I don't think that he's closed out the relationship that he's in. I think he still has kind of one foot in the door. He's kind of looking for an escape from that situation. So it might be an unhealthy situation. So he's trying to, you know, kind of get his ducks in a row before he has to split from that situation. So be wary of this energy coming forward. Um, you know, like there's a lot of dark energy that's kind of following him. You know, it just seems to never give him any peace of mind, because he's not facing the actual darkness. He's running from it. So it's just, you know, following behind, you know, until he turns around to face it, take the power away from it. Um, but we have the page of cups on the bottom. So a lot of water is showing up here. So it could be a Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces energy that's showing up. But I'm seeing a lot of Cancer. You know, we do have some Earth energy, which could be a secondary factor in regards to your signs. If this resonates, I don't know who is. Um, you know, like the masculine energy, you know, is something that we all have to kind of get in touch with. So maybe this time you're taking right now is to focus maybe on the masculine part of yourself. You know, trying to step into the boots of like thinking like a man, experiencing things, not like physically going out and experiencing, but meditating over, you know, the masculine energy that, you know, we like to bring into our lives. You're a Scorpio, okay, so that could do very well while we're seeing the water. Um, you know, with the Page of Cups, there could be a lot of chaos coming forward with this energy. So I'm just giving you a heads up. This is not the person you want to be with. They have a lot of chaos coming behind them, and it's like a tsunami that's following them. So it's just, you know, you're never going to be able to get up and breathe out of this relationship. It's always going to be you know, it's going to be a challenge against the, you're going to work against the water. You know, like you got a tsunami, it's just going to wipe you out. You know what I mean? Like be careful of this energy that's coming forward here. You know, I don't feel that it's good energy. They have an ulterior motive to the situation. They find that they're going to gain from the situation, gain from being in a relationship with you, um, on a financial level, or, you know, because he hasn't finished closing out the relationship that he's still in. Um, he could be testing the waters. You know what I mean? So I don't think he has good intentions. He definitely doesn't have me feeling good about him. You know, because he's very conniving. He's not being truthful with himself. He doesn't want to be on the same side. So he's trying to maneuver it so that he can be on the outside, but still be on the inside with you. You know what I mean? So he could be married. He could be a person that has a relationship right now. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm not going to even reveal that statement you just made, but yeah, that's exactly what it is. Exactly. Yeah, we don't need that. So just giving you a heads up that there's probably an energy like that to be aware of coming forward. Let's see what the angel therapy card is for the day for you. What is the angel therapy message for Marie today? There's something that she could, you know, take spiritually to work on, or to gain some insight into, you know, her personal self. All right, so let's see what's going on for you. What is the message that angels have for, you know, Marie today? Give her some direction in her love, career, finance. What is the message that she needs to hear today to help her